know the headline acts that have come back into this lineup as well. Sam Taylor comes back into the lineup and he just solidifies that defence, which has been the number one for spoils and intercept marks for the last 4 weeks anyway.
531 games came back into the Giants team today, and my big concern is the forward line for the Swans. They, compared to the Giants have kicked 158 goals amongst their 6 starting forwards today. The Swans, 68. Yeah. More than double. And looking at the leading goal kickers, you've got 41 Hogan, 33 Cadman, 31 Swans. The leader is Isaac Heaney, and he's not even a starting forward.
Well, the Swans have played with a makeshift forward line all year, but largely. And you know, Hayden McLean's back in there for the last few weeks, and you know, he hasn't had a great year himself. But Bull has shown a bit. I think he's been able to show that he can take a mark overhead and go back and kick with confidence. So, you know, they're starting to get a semblance of a forward line that can impact, but it absolutely not as damaging as...
They don't want to rely on Heaney and Warner to kick the goals as well as the forwards. They've got to kick the goals themselves.
And you touched on it with Jeremy Laidler, the fact that, you know, Stringer's had the chance to be the number one, but now he's just that dynamic third tall.
When you look at the number of goals kicked, I was having a look at, because with Hogan and Cadman and Toby Green, the 3 key forwards, or the 3 highest goal-scoring forwards, they've kicked over 100 goals to this point of the season. The last time they had that sort of a 3-prong lineup inside forward 50, it was 2019. They had Jeremy Cameron, Jeremy Finlayson and Harry Himmelberg, and they went on to a grand final. So that is the type of firepower this Giant side is operating with. And Luffy, to your point down the other end, it just does feel that this Swans lineup might be a bit skinny at time, which means, Luff, the midfield's got to fire for the Swans today.
That's the only way they're going to win this, is cut off the delivery. I mean, you know, I know it's an old saying and a cliche, but just cut the delivery off, because their marking targets are Hogan, are Cadman, are Brown, are Riccardi, Stringer. They're all big marking targets. The Swans, they have Hayden McLean. That's the only big marking target. Yes, Haywood can take a mark, but you've got Campbell down there, you know, a small. Papley's back, a small. Yes, they can take them up, but they're not big marking targets. So they're going to have to help each other out a lot here. Ramps is going to have to help Melican, and they're just going to have to spoil as much as they can. But when it does hit the ground bolts, that tallness might actually affect the Giants, because the Swans are good at then the ground ball and running it back out the other way.
Yeah, I love the structure of their forward line, the Giants, and I feel like they'll be too good this evening. I feel like it's weighted in their favour. I feel like it'll be a 17-point win in favour of the Giants. But as we've touched upon, the fact that the Swans midfield, on the back of Brodie Grundy's form, he's been phenomenal.
62 hitouts last week.
It was incredibly impactful, but his ability to find and then follow up, you know, find his teammate with that hit to advantage, but then follow up with pressure and tackling, he's been influential.
And interesting stat that obviously the form of Isaac Heaney's been fantastic. At this venue, he only averages just over 14 touches a game, and he's only kicked 7 goals in 7 games at this venue. So not great stats for him coming in, playing here at NG Stadium.
Jude, very precise with your 17-point prediction for the Giants to win by not 3 goals precisely, but 17 points. Is that a favourite number sort of thing?
No. I just feel like just a bit of premonition here now. Mate.
So that would mean the Swan season would be over. They've won 5 of their last 6. They're outside the 8 by 2 wins plus percentage. They can't afford to lose tonight, and they've won all those derbies, and 20-10 overall in the history of the Sydney Derby. You don't give them a shot tonight?
No, I absolutely give them a shot, but I feel that this Giants outfit, their turnover game is far better than the Swans. The Swans were number 1 for that area last year, and ability to score from turnovers. This last 4 weeks, that's where the Giants have really lifted, and I feel that's an area they'll expose the Swans.
Jude Bolton says the Swans season comes to an end tonight. You heard it here first in the Triple M Footy Prime Time. Now, you've mentioned what Brodie Grundy did last week against, let's be honest, an undermanned North Melbourne Kangaroos outfit. Tonight he comes up, and we talk about these teams being in form. The form of Kieran Briggs over the last 3 to 4 weeks has been up there with any ruckman in the comp. We know what a performance Tom Green had from a clearance perspective last week, but those clearances aren't created without the work of Kieran Briggs. No. What do you make of this matchup? Because they're 2 boys that don't mind a wrestle. Brodie Grundy is a lean-in first-type ruckman, and And on the other end today, he's got one of the biggest in the comp.
Well, hopefully there's just no ticky-touch wood free kicks.
Oh.
Let them just go at it. Let those two beasts in there just absolutely wrestle it a little bit, because that is where giving first use to these quality midfields of both sides is going to take precedence for the ascendancy. And you look at the Giants outfit, the last piece, they're number one from scores from stoppages, both on differential and clearance numbers as well for the last 4 weeks. So they are in red-hot form around there.
The other thing with the Giants is they do rely heavily on Green, Ash, Callaghan, Whitfield to get the ball a lot. Because looking at the highest, like Connor Iden's 6th on their most stats, and he's a backman. So they're not getting a lot more use out of the other midfielders or the wingers. It's all the same guys. So when they do cut them out, if they can cut out Tom Green, they do a job on him. Do it the same on Ash. Callaghan, we know he may end up having to play on Heaney at some point. I reckon they might go toe to toe. So it's going to be, as you said, Flanders. They've got to cut the midfield off, stop the delivery into the forward line.
You called them the Giants outfit a moment ago. What about their Guernsey tonight?
So
They never surrender. It's their away Guernsey, they say, but they are wearing it for their first Friday night footy game here at NG Stadium. It's a Sydney derby. The Swans are in the red and white, but it looks just fantastic. And don't they look like a team that can go really deep in 2025?
One of the best jumpers in the league, this one.
Turn it up, Paul.
No, it is.
Absolutely love it.
Turn it up.
The charcoal with a splash of orange.
This is look good, feel good, play good type stuff on a Friday night. It is. This is like Troy Love back in his day, putting on his best pair of skinny jeans, his favourite flannel, and heading out to the nightclubs of Sydney into the cross. And you'd never go home empty-handed, would you, Love? You're always, and that's what the Giants are rolling with tonight in this charcoal jumper. It is a sharp look.
Did you get in with your Ugg boots?
Never wore Ugg boots outside the house. Never. Maybe moccasins, but never Ugg boots.
Hey, one player back into the lineup for the Swans, though, loves getting up in the face of the Giants. Tom Papley as well, though. He is one who's he's an energizer. He sets the tone for the Swans. He loves getting up in the grill.
We'll know at the first bounce whether the Swans are on tonight with the aggression they have at the first contest and just how hard. You watch, when they go out, there'll be a lot of push and shove.
It's only his 7th game of the year, Papley, and he's kicked 3 goals, 6. Total.
Absolutely, you can see that's one of the big reasons why they haven't fired, because he's one who's dragged them over the line in previous years and really sparked their team when they have been down. And it probably tells me a lot of those wins last year, when they were almost 3 games on top of the ladder clear, they were blowing sides away in 30-40 minutes of football, and their stars haven't fired as well as that this year.
Are you saying Tom Papley's due tonight, Speedy?
You'd think so.
Oh,
he's better than that, isn't he?
You'd love to see it under the bright lights of Friday night footy. Tom Papley doing what he does best, kicking goals and then celebrating like nobody else can in the competition. Speaking of people that have come dressed to play tonight, this man down on the boundary has been doing great work with the interviews already. Justin Edwards. Evening, Justin.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. It's chilly down here on the boundary without being absolutely freezing just yet. We'll see how that goes 2 or 3 hours into the contest this evening. The first Friday night Sydney derby ever for these Giants fans. The Swans have won their last 5 in a row, and in the history of this fixture up to 31, it's the only time either side has ever won that many in a row. Even when the Giants were no good at the start, they only ever won 4 in a row, the Swans. Papley, the big in for the Swans, as you just mentioned, and 3 huge ins for the Giants. Jesse Hogan, Sam Taylor and Josh Kelly. The crowd is building nicely here. The Giants are expecting between 18 to 20, hopeful of something near 20, 21 being the capacity here, so we'll be just short of that. No late changes. The subs, Toby McMullen and Aaron Francis this evening. Aaron Francis, one of the other inclusions for the Swans.
And just confirming, Justin, before we let you go, are you putting in 2 invoices after calling the VFL game?
I do. They're not of the same value. I can say the invoices. The VFL players get VFL salaries. Is that what and that's what I am in for the VFL.
VFL commentators getting the VFL paychecks.
Yeah.
Very nice, Justin, down there for Bob Jane T-Marts all night. Lovely.
The other one we haven't mentioned too, Bolts, is Stephen Cornelio. Now, he made his return last week, hadn't played since round 3. I think he had 17 or 18 touches. So he's another one that is added to that great midfield they've already got.
Have you read about how he fixed the glute issue?
Yeah, with the
Botox.
Botox or something.
He's got Botox in his butt.
Wow.
And you know who gave him the tip? Nat Fyfe. Nat Fyfe called him up because Jaeger O'Meara is Cogs' best mate over at the Dockers. And Jaeger was talking to Fyfey about it. So Nat's got on the text to Cogs and told him, mate, try Botox. Cogs, I hope he knew the number, otherwise what a text again.
Stephen Canelio said that it was a tough tell to his missus to say, I'm actually going to get Botox in the cheeks.
I'm going in for a Brazilian butt lift. But he said, Five apparently said to him, 7 days it'll still be 7 days after the jab, it'll still feel like the same problems. By 10 it'll be gone. And Cog said 7 days later the neural sensation I was still getting when I ran was there. By 10 it was gone, and now he's back out on the field.
You could have told him that, Liam, because you get it regularly, don't
Mate, I'm on the Gold Coast. I tell you what, I've seen plenty of Botox, and I can testify it does work. It does work. It's great to see Stephen Canelio out there, a man who is a real community leader for this GWS Giants club. The work he does off-field in this community of Western Sydney is incredible.
And just on that front, Errol Goulden came out through the banner with the Swans. They had a mascot today, a young girl, and he ran with the girl, grabbed a Sharon, handballed her, the Sharon, and her eyes lit up. I mean, he does the small things right. Errol Goulden is a champion. He's won 3 Brett Kirk medals the last 3 times he's played in this fixture. And when he comes back into the team, I remember asking some former Swans about this, how much better he makes the Swans, and they said 4 or 5 goals difference.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just his liveliness.
His kicking ability and his leadership as well, Speedy. He shapes them up so well, and his ability to open and bring his teammates into the game. And I would be, if Adam Kingsley, I'd be sending Toby Bedford straight to him, just to be able to say, lock him down, don't let him win another Brett Kirk medal.
So he's the one out of the 3, the big 3, Heaney, Warner, Goulden. He's the first one you'd go to.
I'd still go to him, I think, yeah. I think the other midfielders can go head-to-head. You've got quality through there. Let them go head-to-head, but just lock down on Goulden in terms of his
It is so exciting, and it's great that we've got the stars on display tonight, as many of them as possible, fit and healthy to play. Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. Luffy, Jude said that the Swans season ends here tonight. What do you think? Do you think that they'll live to fight another day? Can they get the win here?
I was out here last year at the corresponding game, and at that game the Giants were favourite to win, and the Swans just started so well. They dominated, and the game slowed down a little bit. The Giants caught up. I just think the Swans they're going to come out on fire tonight. You've seen the Swans do it before, Bolts, to the Giants. I remember at the SCG, if you did the same, they kicked 6 or 7 goals in the first quarter just because they were ready to play, and I think it's going to be the same tonight.
It's going to be a fantastic, enthralling contest. Luffy's saying that the start is what matters most for this Sydney Swans outfit.
And I reckon the player they will get into will be Toby Green in the back line. I think the Swans know that Toby's last 3 games against the Swans haven't been that good. He hasn't kicked a goal. He's averaged, I think, 12 or 13 possessions because the players have got into him and they've got in his head. So
you reckon they go after Toby Green?
They'll just start it, a little bit of niggle. You watch, Dane Ramsey will put straight away, a little bit of niggle.
You reckon?
Ramsey will go to him, but I'm not sure if they'll have the niggle. We'll see. There's always spot fires. This is what we love about the Sydney Derby.
Well, he might start at Bolts. It might be Toby Green that starts.
Speedy, what I'm excited about is that I expect fireworks tonight because during the week at the co-hosted press conference, both teams sent their most passive player. The Giants served up Jack Buckley. The Swans served up Braden Campbell. And those two, you'd be happy to date your sister. Seriously, they're the nicest blokes getting around.
They had a cup of tea together.
They offered absolutely donuts in the way of ammunition for tonight. Yep. So I'm expecting that the real antagonists behind the scenes, the Papleys, the Greens, etc., are going to be ready to fight.
Normal point.
As the captains head to the middle of NG Stadium.
Tails the call.
We'll get down to Justin Edwards. Justin, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, Callum Mills has won the toss. He'll be kicking towards the big screen here at NG Stadium, the left of your radio dial. Recapping the subs. Toby McMullen, the sub for the Giants. Aaron Francis, the sub for the Swans.
Any wind down there, Justin, tonight at all?
No, but completely still.
Beautiful.
All right. This is exciting. We are building. We are less than 2 minutes away from the first bounce. This ground is filling. The light show is in effect. The teams are in their huddles, and we are moments away from Sydney Derby 31.
Mills now on the big screen talking to the team. Look at his eyes.
He has been influential
eyes.
in the sense that he's come back with real venom this last few weeks. He's battled with injuries the last year and a half, but there's been a real impetus from the Swans to say they need him at his ruthless best and really hard-nosed leader. And that's why he was installed as a single captain.
It's like he's trying to make up for his Bolts. For all the footy he's missed, he says, I owe this team something, and he's just got better and better week in, week out. Not just his performance on the field, but also his leadership.
And you speak of leaders, Cal Ward in the huddle pre-game speaking to the GWS Giants
that.
outfit.
And
As he had his operation, he was just jogging.
That's sensational, and all the players got around him then, and you can see how he gave the rousing speech three-quarter time when they got up a few weeks ago.
All right, well, here's Brendan's speed to get us underway.
Hamling has gone straight to Hogan. That's the matchup. Down back for the Swans. Melican goes to Cadman. Keep an eye on those two potential matchups. That's a bit of a surprise. What else
Mills
do you think, Planet?
Mills to Stringer as well.
Ash to Papley.
And in the middle, James Jordan has gone to his opposite number, Finn Callahan. The two number 17s head-to-head.
Have a look at Tom Papley there with your binoculars there. Just as we expected, a little bit of push and shove there on Lockie Ash.
So Friday night footy.
And Toby Green and Dane Rampy. There you go. Have a look.
As called. Jumpers being pulled at the moment.
There you go. Have a look at that.
Mills and
Umpires
Stringer.
everywhere.
Come on, umpire, get on with it before this really kicks off inside the forward 50s.
Didn't see who started that, but obviously they were going good toe-to-toe.
First ever Friday night footy at NG Stadium. It is Sydney Derby number 31. The Giants haven't won one of these derbies in 818 days. Ball goes up, Grundy taps it down as far as Callahan in a wrestle with Jordan, and
Pushing the back.
big tackle laid, too big though, right in the back from Briggs, giving away the early free kick to James
Stand,
Jordan,
Toby.
who doesn't have any runners going past, so he'll kick long,
Zone. Yeah.
straight up the guts. It'll land about 20 from home, off hands, clean hands, the snap towards goal is off the mark, a minor score. Papley had his shot there, and he's
Someone's
got the little knock as well.
Now,
Hayden McLean looks
he looks like he
on
might
his
be
back.
he looks like he might be knocked out here.
Yep.
Real
Wow.
concern for Hayden McLean. As soon as Will
Stretcher's gonna come.
Will Hayward went to him bolts, he put the hand up. Hayden McLean is motionless right now on the turf at NG Stadium.
Yeah,
the footy,
it's
Mike.
not great
Thank
look
you,
at the moment.
thank
You
you.
can see he's just flat out on his back at the moment after that huge
Yeah,
contest
I
that
know.
came in, and Papley was able to read it off hands. But this is going to force a huge structural change because he has not moved at the moment.
Aaron Francis is already off the bench, out of his tracksuit top. We'll get the Triple M Harvey Norman replay when we can to see exactly what happened. It was a massive contest with all the big bodies inside forward 54, the Swans.
He's moving now. He's just lifted his head up. Good
Down the
news.
middle, mate. Of the footy.
Because there was a lot of movement out of the goal square. It was Buckley who was his direct opponent. Taylor went to Buller, and they were just ushering to go, and then they all launched. But you can see him trying to get up at the moment. They're just, the physios are just saying, just stay back down.
Aidan McLean getting the best care possible right now here at NG Stadium. We wanted fireworks, not of this variety. This is not the start we wanted to Sydney Derby 31. It looks as though Hayden McLean's evening will be a very short one. We're less than a minute played in this game, or we were less than a minute played when the incident happened. The players have formed huddles. The Swans staying close to their fallen teammate. The Giants inside the centre square, and the Medicab has entered the field of play.
We haven't seen a replay yet to actually see what happened. It wasn't a big pack that had formed bolts. There was only a couple of players in it. So we'll have to wait and see whether it was a hit going for the mark or whether he landed on the ground awkwardly.
Well, this is the discretion of the TV as well. They've obviously had a look at it themselves and said we don't want to show it because it may cause distress, and they'll check on the welfare of Hayden McLean before they show any replays to ascertain what kind of level this injury is, because he tried to move but was kept in position, and now they'll apply the neck brace, put him on the Medicab and take him off for the best possible care and get him to the hospital as well.
Let's get down to Justin Edwards, Bob Jane teammates boundary side. Justin?
Yeah, real sort of quiet hush among the crowd at the moment. A very serious injury for Hayden McLean. The stretcher out on the ground. Not yet on it yet, still on the ground. The Swans already pulled the trigger on the sub. They've put the paperwork in, and Aaron Francis is ready to go.
All right, so that sub has already been made. Aaron Francis into the game for the Sydney Swans. And I guess if you're trying to find silver linings, bolts, Aaron Francis can play that key forward type role.
Well, he can, absolutely, and he'll push down there, but just all your thoughts are with Hayden McLean, and obviously, you know, he's in great hands with the best physios and doctors around there doing everything they can to get him onto the Medicab safely. But both teams, as you mentioned, huddled together. There is a lull around the ground.
Yeah.
It's they're trying to reset after what was already starting to be spot fires. We saw Rampy up in the face of Toby Green in the front half up there.
One to watch was as well, and noticed inside forward 50 for the Giants was Jake Stringer and Cal Mills. Now, Cal Mills was getting into Jake, and Jake had a bit of the Tom Lynch look about him, as though if this continued on, he was going to do something about it. So just noticed Tom Papley ran over there and got some messages directly from Dean Cox on the boundary, and he's run back to passes onto the group, obviously. We are still awaiting Hayden McLean, who currently is in the hands of the Sydney Swans trainers and medical staff. The Medicab is now out on the field. We're inside the Swans forward 50. You can hear the applause as Hayden sits up, which must be such a welcome relief to his family and friends and his teammates.
The interesting thing when they go into the huddles now, you've obviously seen the way the teams have lined up. Everyone's started to show their hand a little bit. You've seen Lockie Ash go to Tom Papley. We saw James Jordan go to Finn Callaghan, which was probably a little bit unexpected, but you know how much of a prime mover for the Giants Finn Callaghan is.
The other thing, just to make note of, that I think is fantastic about our game is that, yes, this is a huge game for both teams, the rivalry, the animosity, we've seen it, but the Giants medical staff were out on the field. We're just having a look on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay incident here.
Yeah, so he comes back, he's competing in the air, and the contact comes like it's undue contact. It's just come across. Sam Taylor's tried to spoil, and it was actually a head clash with Jack Buckley, crashes, and he immediately out as he goes down the ground.
It looks like Taylor's gone up to spoil, and he's gone across Buckley, pushed Buckley's head into Hayden McLean at the same time as he was striking the ball. So, I mean, nothing in it.
Completely accidental. No MRO considerations there, as we see Hayden McLean take his seat on the Medicab. Another round of applause. His teammates getting over to him now. Great to see Hayden McLean up, eyes open, communicating with his teammates.
It was already a pretty small forward line at the start of the game. McLean stood out for the Swans, didn't he? They had Warner starting up forward. Papley got the first shot away. Papley probably feels he should have converted that goal. It's been an issue for him this season. 3 goals, 7 now. So they've got the minus score here. The clock is frozen after 26 seconds of actual game time. But the positive news, Hayden McLean helped himself onto that Medicap and is sitting in the seated position.
Yeah, the Harvey Norman replay showing us there what happened with Hayden McLean, who will take no further part in tonight's game. Aaron Francis subbed into the game for the Sydney Swans. Harvey Norman Android Price Blitz is on now. Score unbeatable deals on big brand mobiles, in-store and online, best prices guaranteed. The other game going on at the moment, the Nobody Gives a Stuff Cup, as we're calling it here. It's the Bulldogs taking on the Bombers. It's a joke that it's being fixtured on the same night as this blockbuster, but that's okay. Choice hotels around the grounds. The Dogs at quarter time with a 27-point lead over the Bombers. 2 goals to Aaron Norton, the astronaut, and Sam Darcy as well in the Bont with 9 disposals and a goal as well. So the Dogs well and truly on top after 1 quarter of footy there.
Now, the other thing, you're only talking about Hayden McLean as a forward. Don't forget he is the backup ruckman for Brodie Grundy. So now Brodie Grundy's going to have to do so much more work because Aaron Francis is pretty much the only other player that could possibly play in the ruck.
The leaping lizard might go back there. Blakey's been there before.
Let's get back down to Justin Edwards as Hayden McLean makes his way off the ground. Justin?
Yeah, great reception from the crowd down here. Even Giants fans giving Hayden McLean a round of applause, and he looks to be in pretty good spirits. The great news was that he got up and walked to sit on the stretcher, so he's looking okay and heading down to the rooms.
So the Medicab has left the arena. Good news in the end. Hayden McLean should be right. Of course, Joel Amati out for the season with his hamstring. So it's Lockie Whitfield after a long delay with the kick-in after that miss from Papley. And shaped to go short to the right back pocket, but goes long to the left half-back flank for the Giants instead. Ball brought to ground level by Melican. Now a ball to be won, and steaming through was Himmelberg. Dragged off it. Ball still in dispute. Tapped forward by the Giants. The kid in the lid gets a shot at it. Jones can't do much with it. The Swans have some good numbers around the footy now. The umpire letting it roll until now when Papley is locked up, and the ball on the half-forward flank for the Swans. Ball upstart.
It's intense, isn't it, Bolts?
Incredibly intense. You've got Heaney and Tom Green on each other at this stoppage.
7-minute delay to Sydney Derby 31 as Bedford weaves through the traffic via hands, finds Himmelberg, kick wide, gets over the back, sits up for the Giant skipper. Toby Green is running, corridor, finds O'Halloran, marks right on the 50, pauses, looks inside, Swans flood back, defensive grid now set for Sydney. And Lockie Ash is having a word to the X-Man and saying, you'll kick this.
He fancies it, doesn't he?
Well, he took too long to look for an option. He needed to give one straight away to a one-on-one with Hogan, but he just took so long.
Has signed a new 3 deal. wants to be a part of this Giants team.
Steve, you stay where you are.
There was interest from the Bulldogs in the off-season. The Giants said, "You're not going anywhere, Xavier. We need you." He's going to push this one across the face of goal. It's going to land in the pocket. No mark taken. Fisted over the line. Boundary throw in left forward pocket.
Yeah, he had options early. He should have just gone really quickly. There was options floating back inside forward 50, but Toby Green gets that first win on Dane Rampy, just reading the ball, reading the flight really well.
Right next to the behind post, the boundary umpire tosses this one in. Grundy in a wrestle in the ruck with Briggs. Snapshot from Green, only travelled 5 metres. A little hand from Bedford. Roberts tidies up. Handball was speculative, tidied up by Jones for the Giants. Good kick, gave Hogan half a chance, and he should be paid the mark. He is. He juggled at either side of Hamling, and now has a shot from close range on a 45-degree angle. Jesse.
It was a terrific contest from both players, but Jesse Hogan stood strong in this marking contest. He and Hamling just met face to face on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. You can see Wicks pushing Darcy Jones to the boundary line. You know how well he's been working on the small forwards.
How is that a mark, Bolts?
It's bobbled up.
It's rolled off Henley's stomach.
So he's shaping to go drop punch style from a 45-degree angle. Now he goes around the corner and converts. Jesse Hogan has the first of the evening in the derby, and it's goal number 42 for the season for Jesse.
I find that hard to believe that that's a mark because, yes, both players, they collided together. The ball has come off Hogan, hit the chest of Henley and then gone back, and Hogan's taken it. You have a look at the repeat. Flans, what do you reckon here? Bang.
I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it.
He got the first grab.
That's a mark, Luffy.
Yeah.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Come on, Luffy. You need 4 looks at it. The umpire had 1 look and got it right.
Look, no.
That's all chest of Hogan.
He has punched the ball into Hogan.
The derby is off to a flyer on the field and in the box. Ball back in the middle for McDonald's and Remont Water. Triple M Rocks footy. NG Stadium is alive. Giants with the 5-point lead early stages. Ball back in the middle. Briggs wins this one down definitively. Gave it to Callahan. Went the inside out on the left boot. Hit the wrong side of it. Finds the boundary line. Throw in.
Swans asking for insufficient there.
No, they would have played that 5 years ago when they first brought that rule in.
So just outside the 50-metre arc at the Giants' end of the ground, they lead by 5 points. 1 goal straight to 1 behind. Another wrestle in the ruck. Umpire's letting that roll as Jordan gets the clearance. Only as far as Callahan, who left it for O'Halloran. Quick hands inboard, back to the ruckman Briggs. Tackled as he got the kick away. Good pressure applied by Grundy, and it spills out of play again for another boundary stoppage just inside the attacking arc for the Giants, who lead 6-1.
Just loving watching this forward craft at this stoppage with Tom Green and Isaac Heaney going head to head. This time Tom Green's just pulling Isaac Heaney out of the contest a little bit.
Brody Grundy kept front spot, dropped it down into the lap of Jordan, got the kick away. Warner was held behind play by Iden. Umpire didn't see it. Play on. Ball inside the Giants forward 50, lurking at centre half forward. In dispute. Cunningham with the tackle. And we're going to have a ball up right at centre half forward for GWS. The energy is high, Luffy.
Yeah, not a lot of clean possession either side, Bolts.
And a little fumble from the captain Mills cost them a chance to launch off half-back. Grundy immediately tackled by Briggs this time. This ruck battle, they mean business, the two of them.
They're letting it go, which is great. They're both just trying to engage with their body and wrestling in the ruck contest, but there hasn't been any silly free kicks.
Right on the 50-metre arc, umpire balls it up again. And Stringer trying to burst through a pack in trademark style, but Mills lays the tackle, and we get another stoppage.
Even numbers at either end of the ground, so you can quick kick from this stoppage.
Oh, the first free kick of the ruck battle has been given. Kieran Briggs was all over Brody Grundy. He released quickly. He didn't see Himmelberg lurking. Harry Himmelberg, intercept mark, too big for Errol Goulden. Season lead, honours it. O'Halloran marks, not far from where he had the set shot moments ago. Decides to kick to the lead in the pocket. Jesse Hogan coming. Floating in front was Mills. No mark taken. Hamling handled for the line.
No, it was a ricochet.
Boundary throwing.
The anticipation of Harry Himmelberg, as soon as Brody Grundy was looking to switch, his eyes was on the kicker and he was able to just intercept mark. Fantastic effort.
A couple of fumbles from Mills. Will he be disappointed?
He's double-handled multiple times in defence.
So toss back in again, about 40 from home for the Giants. Another wrestle in the ruck, no free kick. Cornelio gets a left foot snap towards the forward pocket. Hogan off hands. Cadman tidies up, back to Hogan. Gets a kick towards goal. Minor score this time. So 1-1-7 the Giants lead the Swans one behind on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
What's the possession count, Bolts? The Swans haven't had it much.
Yeah, Giants are doubled on the Triple M Red Z lending stats.
Red Z lending loans for the self-employed, REDZED.com. Troy Luff, Jude Bolton on your Triple M Seabus Super special comments this evening as the Swans find space on the outer side and they're running. Lloyd bounces, heading towards 50. Nothing inside forward 50 for him. Cunningham was the tall target. Oh, big contest. Francis on Ash.
Good
Both
tackle.
players back on their feet. Ball in dispute. Swans forward line pressure. Heaney! Isaac Heaney continues his red-hot form from last week. And it's back on inside forward 50. Jumper punches at 10 paces. The Sydney Derby is alive. 7 points apiece. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Take a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay here as the Swans broke away, as you mentioned, Flanners. It was a speculative kick inside forward 50, but the lack of awareness here from Jack Buckley. He should have been holding ball with Chad Warner's massive tackle. It went out into scramble. Isaac Heaney draws first blood on Tom Green, pushing hard forward and kicks a goal on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
And that bump from Aaron Francis, just a good solid bump, just put him straight off. And Isaac Heaney, and it was good. Chad Warner got the ball and just handball it out of the congestion, just put it into a dangerous spot.
Just watching the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Dean Cox coaching from the boundary line, pumped up after brilliance from Warner, set it up for Heaney. So back in the middle, Heaney is there trying to get the clearance. Grundy tried to flick it out towards Rowbottom, who broke for Jones. And up and under from Briggs on his left. Won't be far enough for a mark to be paid. So crashing through was Green, brought it down for Angwin, who gets a kick towards the 50-metre arc. Again off hands. And tackle immediately laid by the Swans on O'Halloran. And the umpire will toss it up. It's all locked up here at 7 apiece.
Hot in the kitchen at the moment. You've got minimal time to just execute a quick disposal around stoppages.
Grundy flicked it away. Papley didn't take possession, got it to Rampy. Found the chest of Warner right in the heart of NG Stadium.
No one in the forward line.
Streaming past. Rampy knew that, so he had the handball laterally. Cunningham to Lloyd. Near side NG Stadium.
Tom Green just set himself loose there, blocking space in the Swans forward line.
Lloyd just possessing the football. Going to drop it in on the head of Aaron Francis, who's outsized and outmatched. And this is the problem that the Swans face tonight. If you've just joined us, Hayden McLean concussed heavily in the very first contest of the game. Subbed out of the game. Aaron Francis in.
Buckley took the intercept mark, went to Iden as they switch it to the outer side. Riccardi brought it to ground level for Stringer. Handball over the top, and they look to launch onto this. O'Halloran able to tidy up on the second go at it. Goes back to Angwin on the outside. Stringer follows up his kick inside forward 50. Well defended by the Swans. Bouncing ball tidied up by Cunningham. Close range handball to Wicks, who dropped it cold, and now the Swans under enormous pressure. Green goes to work, lost out to Cunningham again. Well done, Harry Cunningham. Gets it to Wicks in the back pocket. That kick touched off the boot, so Blakey had to be quick, and now they're out of D50. The Swans just.
Proper finals energy here in Sydney Derby 31. The Swans gallop, escape to the outer side. Francis with the mark on the logo. Goes the corridor kick. Haywood marks on his chest.
Much better method moving forward. They were just able to change the angles rather than long bomb inside forward 50.
Francis wants it back. There's no one standing the mark.
Outside 5.
But if he's outside forward 50, who's inside?
Got to avoid the interceptors.
Gallop, the lizard to the pocket. Oh, Heaney couldn't get there in time. Intercepted by Fonte.
Yeah, well done, Fonte. Read it well and looked good for Heaney until Fonte came across his bows. Lloyd has done brilliantly here. Picked the pocket of Brown. Went back to Grundy. His handball to Campbell. Set up the youngster. He's gone.
Great
Campbell caught in a wonderful tackle by Josh Kelly. That's a good sign for the veteran.
Yeah, great start from Josh Kelly. He brings himself into the game with a massive tackle, just level change and dragged Campbell down.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Jude Bolton and Troy Luff this evening alongside Liam Flanagan and Brenton Speed. Justin Edwards boundary side. The Swans have won the footy back and they attack through the corridor. Rowbottom Makes life difficult for Heaney. 1-on-1 v Buckley. Won the footy, won the contest, fed it to Goulden. He's on the wrong side. Would prefer his left. Giants don't want to give it to him. He hooks one back to the middle. Campbell to fly, couldn't bring it down. Warner at the fall. Blakey stepped inside Himmelberg. Fed it to the big Grundy. Oh, the nutmeg! Brody Grundy with the Benny Hill music playing, and he's got a free kick.
What was the free kick for, Bolt?
It was called for high contact. He was fumbling and fumbling away, Brody Grundy, as we watched the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, because he had his head over. It was very light contact on the noggin.
That's a very soft free kick in my book. He fell over. Have a look at Brown.
Jake, thank you. Take him out.
Nothing in it, yeah. But he did well to find a handball to Sheldrick anyway. The Swans might have been better off if it was played on.
The top knot exaggerated the contact.
Has he got this kicking in, Bolts?
He's kicked a couple of late.
He's a fair way out, though. 50 metres.
The All-Australian ruckman elect, Brody Grundy on the runway. That is dead eye straight. Salutes the sky. Brody's got his first, and the Swans take a 6-point lead. 2-1-13 the Swans, 1-1-7 the Giants. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Make your next caravan a Titanium Caravan, proudly Australian made and owned. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
I think the Swans have worked out pretty quickly that they can't bomb it. They tried it once and realised with Buckley, with Taylor, with Ida, they're too tall down there. So Errol Goulden got the ball on the opposite side of the wing. He looked inside and said, there's too many talls, and just switched it across to give the smalls a bit of a chance.
Triple M Red Z lending stats. Brody Grundy leading all comers. 5 disposals in that goal to start off. Chad Warner's had 4 disposals. O'Halloran has had 4. And Darcy Jones 3 for the Giants.
Well, they've made the change now for the ruck. Have a look at the 2 ruckmen in there. They're about 6'2" each, aren't they?
It's Buller against Riccardi as Grundy takes a well-earned rest after kicking that goal that gives the Swans a 6-point lead here midway through the opening term. Buller did well, brought it down for Heaney. He was tackled immediately, almost a throw from Callahan. Given the all clear, Cornelio across his body. Ball in dispute, edge of the arc. Jones spun through traffic delightfully. And now off hands, Cadman's a chance on the boot too quickly. He rushed it. He had another step, I reckon, to steady. It's through for a minor score, 1-2-8 the Giants. Trail by 5 points on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
You know what, Bolts? I'll actually like this ruck contest. It'll be totally different to what we're seeing. The 2 big ruckmans in Briggs and Brody just tackling each other. These 2 will just have a crack at trying to win the hit out.
Bring in, play on.
It is lightning stuff, though. End to end. Finals like action on field here at NG Stadium.
Touch play on.
The Swans come near side. Braden Campbell fought through the tackle. Then Riccardi basketballed him to himself. Back to Himmelberg, centre wing, near side. Riccardi, Callahan on the left. The ball's going to drop at centre half forward. Brown to fly against Blakey. Waiting down for it is Jones. Swans with numbers. McInerney went with the bump on O'Halloran. It's worked out for the Swans. Quick kick by Roberts. Lands in the lap of Aaron Francis. Heading back towards goal is James Jordan. They just got to get it to him. Buckley got to Goulden instead. Now the forward 50's closed up. He's caught in the tackle. Free kick Giants.
He buffeted off the first tackle, but the Giants came in swarming in a wonderful team tackle. They've given a free kick against the Giants. I'm staggered by that.
A reversal, I think it was, for something off the ball. So the free kick was initially paid to the Giants.
Oh no, Toby's given it one away.
Toby just pushed Aaron Francis off the ball.
And another reversal.
So the reversal against to award Heaney the free kick initially, it was Toby Green came in and rubbed his head into the grass.
And then he's gone again. 2 reversals in 20 seconds. That's a new PB, a new record for Toby Green. I haven't seen some bloke give away 2 reversals that quickly in the history of the game.
So the second reversal for our listeners was he went past Aaron Francis, just pushed him straight onto the ground as he ran past, and Giants had the ball in their possession.
So the end result is a free kick set shot from James Jordan. Boos ringing out at NG Stadium as Jordan misses. Let's Toby Green off the hook. It's a 1 straight kick the difference now. The Swans lead by 6 points on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
He might be having a spell on the bench.
Well, let's get down to Justin Edwards' boundary side.
Adam Kingsley absolutely steaming at his team, giving away those couple of free kicks there. Lucky they missed.
Justin, if Toby Green comes to the bench in the next 5 minutes, we are coming down for a live conversation as Green goes Cadman down the line. Couldn't complete it on the third mark attempt. Ball at right half forward for the Giants. Toby Green has come to the bench. We are keeping an eye on him. Adam Kingsley is headed straight to his skipper to have a word.
He's got the hands in the pockets and he's just eyeballing him at the moment.
And Toby Green gave him no eye contact, but he was listening. So the Swans effect another clearance. Big up and under down the line from Jordan. Oh, good body work from Francis, who's done some nice things in the last 5 minutes. Sheldrick's handball smothered by Kelly, so Sheldrick elects the soccer instead. Clever tap came from Hayward down towards Patley, who was caught high. Another free kick to the Swans. Patley saying, let's slow things down.
Swans have had some really good wins at that 50 to 70 metre mark with the likes of Francis. This opportunity now with Tom Patley.
They lead by a goal. He slowed things down, drops it into the pocket. Half a chance, almost front on contact. Umpire said that's okay. The challenge from Iden, and it's out for a boundary throw in about 10 metres around from the behind post.
I don't know, Bolts. I don't agree with what Papley did there. Why slow things down when you're 65 metres out from goal and all the defenders were out of position? Get it in quick.
Boundary throw in. Swans forward 50. Taking it out of the ruck is Buller.
All clear.
A lesson for Jake Riccardi there.
Jack Buckley, move
Intention
out,
from Buller. He's missed to the left-hand side. Minor score Swans. 2-3-15. They lead the Giants 1-2-8. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Giants are going to resume play on the near side as Buckley really just ambles up centre wing. Going to drive it towards Stringer, who did some shepherding work for Cadman. Wants to play on quickly. Send it into Jesse Hogan. One out v Hamling. Jesse v Hamling. No mark taken. Ball on the deck. Quick hands. Fed out. Around the body attempt from Angwin has missed a lot out of bounds on the full.
Gee, that's a big miss for Angwin. He had plenty of time.
Lots of space. And the thing is, that's why this game's been played at fever pitch intensity. They need to just take a little bit of stock. And the Giants need some meaningful possession going forward.
And they got a shot because they did go immediately inside 50 that you wanted to see at the other end. Luffy. Amy Klanger right on cue as the Swans just chip their way out of D50, and now the run of Blakey. And he kicks to space, hoping the Swans can run onto it, and Lloyd and Patley both hunt the footy. Lloyd tracked it down, handball to Patley, who gets the fend off going, got rid of Fonte. Time for a bounce. The kick was interesting and wasn't on. He was looking for Campbell on the lead. The Giants had two options for the intercept mark, and Tom Green took it.
There was 5 Giants there that were ringing Campbell when he kicked that in.
Giants go to the outer side. They've turned the footy over. Another mistake from Angwin creates an opportunity for the Swans. Francis couldn't complete the mark. Taylor with the spoil. Himmelberg, shovel handbars. Tom Green now has a bounce. He's in his defensive 50. He's just got a kick to a 50-50 contest. Riccardi v. Melican. Riccardi won the football. Melican laid the tackle. And we'll have a boundary throw in left half forward for the Swans, who are on top in this contest, Bolts.
They absolutely are, but both teams are just playing almost tunnel vision going inside forward 50. They need to scan. There's options aplenty when they're looking in.
But Aaron Francis should have gobbled that one up, Bolts.
When it gets cold, is it harder to take these marks?
No, you're not cold when you're running around out there. They'll still be hot. That was a sitter mark. He should have taken it.
So Green immediately tackled. They're sweating on Tom Green tonight. How's he going in the Red Z lending stats? I noticed the intercept marks also being dominated by the Giants. Have had 5 to zip here.
Tom Green only the 2 disposals thus far.
And the ball eludes him again here. Sheldrick, his opposite number, comes away with it. Threw the handball away, though, to Fonte, who blind turned through traffic, then brushed off the tackle of Patley and kicks long. It's coming back for the high contact as they didn't deem that advantage for the Giants.
He looks slick, though, Fonte. He's just got all the attributes of a player that's just going to elevate over the next few years. You look on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, he just sold the dummy to Gordon.
Now Papley.
He's balanced. Goes back to Buckley. Buckley to the outer side.
What about the stats, Bolts? They've turned around the Swans' favour the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, certainly the Swans are now dominating around there. Just the likes of Blakey's got his hands on the footy. Had 6 disposals.
The Giants just looking for an avenue to attack as Callahan's forced to kick on his non-preferred.
Good mark.
Green back into the action. Mark not paid. Mark not paid.
Wow.
And if Toby Green had cooled down, he'll be fired up now. The Swans to counter. McInerney gave it back to Warner. Warner just has to finish the deal.
Oh, no.
He went the grubber and he sprayed it. Minor score Swans 2-4-16. The Giants 1-2-8 Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. There's 29 minutes gone in this first quarter, but that's with the added 7 minutes to the stoppage with Hayden McLean leaving the ground with concussion.
He didn't need the bounce there, Chad Warner. It invited far more pressure from the Giants. He should have sized that up, had a shot from about 45.
Didn't need a banana either, did he?
He should have done a simple drop punt. I don't know what he was thinking there. They've had some opportunities here, Bolts, the Swans. A couple of those goals should have been... There should be 4 or 5 goals now.
So Himmelberg from the back pocket goes long down the line, and the Swans able to bring it to ground level. Giants have the numbers. Good tackle late by Roberts. So the umpire says, give it to me. Lockie Ash, how's he going on the Red Z lending stats?
Yet to touch the football at the moment, Lockie Ash, as well as Callum Brown.
So that's interesting. The Swans putting work into Ash, who gives the Giants such run-off half-back so often. Now Sheldrick doing some nice things. Leading Green to the footy again. Linked with Warner, who got caught. Great tackle, came from the blind side, and he is gone. And they're leading the holding the balls as well, I'd imagine, the Giants.
Yeah, certainly their tackling pressure's been fantastic earlier in this game. 18 tackles this far.
The Nobody Gives a Stuff Cup is going on at the moment. The Dogs are winning that game by 43 points over the Bombers. Here, it's an early finals game as the Swans look to keep their finals hopes alive. Ball's on the outer side of NG Stadium.
GWS.
Free kick going to the Giants. O'Halloran, been good early. Kicked early to Cadman, got over his head. No mark to Toby Green. Tried to get it on the half volley, couldn't take it cleanly. Ball still inside forward 50 for the Giants. Some fumbles in the Giants forward 6. Opens it up for the Swans. One-handed pick up from Jordan. Linked up through the corridor now. Wide goes Wicks. McInerney v Ash. Couple of speedsters go to work. McInerney tapped it ahead and he beat Ash for pace. Kick inside forward 50 is wild and marked by Sam Taylor for the Giants.
Another intercept mark for GWS. The kick quickly to Kelly, just snaffled it with the 2 hands. He's so clean. And the 2 Rolls Royces link up. Callahan and Kelly go to work, waxing off half-back flank. Callahan goes inboard to Fonte. Inside the centre square, they link up via hands now. Quick hands to O'Halloran, came from Whitfield. What about that transition from the Giants? They can't pay it off with a mark inside forward 50 as Hamling is able to take it away for the Swans. He went to Wicks, who's mucking around with the footy, goes backwards into the back pocket where the mark is taken, and the Swans can steady. They lead by 8 points.
He had no option there, Speedy. He went to look to go to the far side wing, and there was no Swans player out there.
Swans possessing the football round to the outer side. One-on-one contest. Really good mark taken by the Swans wide. It was Buller who's doing a pinch hit in the ruck now with the injury to McLean, and
had an airy.
I don't know what happened there to the young man. Oh, he's been saved.
What was that?
Paul Green was asking the question.
What was that alarm going off in here, Bolts? I could hear a phone. Is that a reminder to get some chicken or something?
Boundary throw in centre wing outer side NG Stadium. The Swans lead it by 8 points.
So good crowd building, around 20,000 for Friday night footy. And Sheldrick again in front of Green. Couldn't affect a clearance this time. Well, he does in the end. Went back to Grundy, who handballs to space. So the race is on. Ricochets to Ash, who can't get a telling possession away again. Norkin O'Halloran. It's broken up by Chad Warner, who's doing all right on the Red Z side fancy. Tumbles one inside forward 50, and it breaks off the boots of Himmelberg along the deck. And the boundary umpire will toss this one in. Inside the forward 50 for the Swans, who lead 2-4-16 to 1-2-8 on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Yeah, Chad Warner leading all comers now. He's had 9 disposals early in this game.
Don't forget too, boys, Macca's, the big arch, has now arrived. There's a McDonald's just outside the concourse here at NG Stadium.
There's the second one.
Another free kick paid to the Swans. Hayward sliding mark. Swans will go back to kick at number 3. Will Hayward taking a mark, 20 out from goal, tight angle on the right-hand side.
Was that justice? Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Did it go out on the full of Harry Himmelberg?
It came off the back of his boot, Himmelberg, so it was out in the full. And then Brodie Grundy got the second ruck infringement free kick.
So Will Hayward, who, with no Hayden McLean, he can play tall, but he's going to have to play real tall tonight inside forward 50 for the Swans.
They're going to have to spot the targets up, Liam. They just can't bomb it. There's no one there to take the big mark.
This to give the Swans some serious momentum. 90 seconds left to play in the first term. Will Hayward has flushed it, and he just gives a little bit of a shush to the Giants crowd.
There's probably more Swan supporters here anyway.
Oh, I don't know if I agree with that, Luffy. There is plenty of orange and black around the place. but the margin is 14 points in favour of the Swans. 3-4-22 plays 1-2-8, and we've got a minute 20 left to play in this first quarter. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Just watching that ruck contest again on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, both players have a fistful of jumper, arms wrapped around. Even Grundy had one right over the shoulder of Briggs, but
Had him in a headlock.
Had him in the headlock, and he got the free kick. So I'd just much rather them see that. Let them go, let them wrestle.
Let's get down to Justin Edwards, Bob Jones teammates.
Tom Papley headed down to the rooms with the Swans doctor, who was receiving some treatment on his back a little earlier, but did come back onto the ground. Now he's gone off again and going down to the rooms and getting plenty of feedback from the Giants crowd as he heads on his way down.
He had the first shot of the night and was a little proppy after that, Papley, so it might stem from that. Back in the middle, Briggs over the top of Grundy. This time Tom Green tracked it down. Umpire takes a fall as the Giants get it inside forward 50. Socket out of there by Melican in a hurry. Goes along the deck, ricochets off Rowbottom and Green, and we'll get a stoppage right on the outer wing here with it. Swans leading by 14 points.
Big Bolts, high pressured game. What's the tackle count at the moment?
18-15 in favour of the Swans. It's been a lot of tackles.
That's a lot of tackles.
A lot of pressure around the contest.
Minute 10 left in the first term. Swans have jumped the Giants in Derby 31. They lead by 14 points as Green shrugged the tackle. Grundy created space for Goulden, caught in the tackle by Cornelio, got him high, free kick Swans, right half back.
How's Cornelio going, Bolts, as far as Red Zeds?
He's had 4 disposals on the Triple M Red Z lending stats.
So Goulden just soaking up some time, waiting for teammates to flow forward, and now he goes long down the line. Francis nudged under the footy illegally by Sam Taylor, so the Swans might get the last shot here to try and add to their lead that stands at 14 points. Final minute of this opening term that they have dominated here.
He's just going to try and pick someone out here. He doesn't want to bomb it in.
So Francis right on the logo goes short. And they're now with Jake Lloyd, about 70 from home. He plays on immediately, knows time is running out. They'll look for Warner to rise, and he nearly stuck it too. The Giants just able to spoil. Now ball to be won in the forward pocket. Sheldrick on his right side for a left foot snap, and it goes across the face of goal. Great contest came from Campbell. He flew into the action, and they get a last stoppage here with 6 seconds to go.
Well, this is the importance of having someone like a Brodie Grundy coming down to take this contest.
Tom Papley.
Will it be Heaney wrapping around?
No Tom Papley out there. He's in the rooms. Isaac Heaney, the danger man. Grundy might just take it himself. Aaron Francis, nobody thought he'd be coming. He's just missed as the siren sounds a minor score. It'll make the margin 15 points at the quarter time break. 3-5-23 the Sydney Swans. 1-2-8 the Giants. If you missed it, the Swans have already played their sub. Hayden McLean concussed in the first contest of the day. He is out. Aaron Francis subbed into the game. The Swans are going to have to do it the hard way, but they started in really good fashion. A 15-point lead to the visitors. More coming up the second term after this for McDonald's and Room Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Titanium Caravans. Make your next caravan a Titanium Caravan, proudly Australian made and owned. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
The Big Arch Burger has now arrived at Macca's.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Seabus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong, long-term returns for after the final whistle. Seabus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Seabus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
When you're passionate about the footy, you know the game like the back of your hand. It's a bit like that at your local Mitre 10 Trade Centre. We're passionate about the trade and we know it better than anyone. With expert advice and top quality timber and building products, our dedicated trade teams are ready with specialised service backed by an Australia-wide network. So while you support your team, Mitre 10 Trade is supporting you. That's mighty helpful, Mitre 10.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. We've got top brands at budget-friendly prices at Bob Jane T-Marts. Want a free tyre? Buy 3 Bridgestone, Yokohama or Kumho tyres and the 4th tyre's free. Get up to $200 instant cashback on Bridgestone and Pirelli tyres. Plus, receive a free gift card up to $250 when you buy 4 selected tyres. We won't be beaten with our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
50 out on the boundary. Simo, self-employed mechanic from Cranbourne. Knocked back by the big banks when he applied for a loan. Don't forget that. But he backs himself now. And that is what Red Z loves. Kick set. Oh, an almighty roost. Straight through the eye diddle with Red Z backing him all the way.
Loans for the self-employed? Win with Red Z. Talk to your broker or contact Red Z.
Australian Credit Licence 31128.
Looking for the best deal on a new mobile? Harvey Norman Android price blitz on now. Save $100 on Motorola G85, now under $300. Save $200 on Samsung Galaxy A56, now just $498. Save $100 on Samsung Galaxy A16, now under $200. And Oppo A5 5G, $258, save $40. More big savings on mobiles in store and online. Android price blitz on now. Harvey Norman. Best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
At Choice Hotels, you get the best value, so you can check into more. And right now, you can get 10% off your next break. From regional road trips to beachside getaways, Choice Hotels has over 7,500 locations worldwide and the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead, check into more with Choice Hotels. Subject to availability, T's and C's apply. See choicehotels.com for details.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Cbus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong long-term returns for after the final whistle. Cbus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Cbus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Bunnings Trade. No matter where you are, Bunnings Trade is here to help tradies, builders and businesses get the job done.
The Sydney Derby has started with fireworks and the Swans have come out hot. 15 points they lead by 3-5-23. The Giants 1-2-8. 1 quarter down, 3 exhilarating quarters of footy still to come. Liam Flanagan, Brendan Speed, Justin Edwards, Troy Laughlin, this man Jude Bolton, your call team for this one.
And Chad Warner, number 1 ranked player on the ground. He had 9 disposals in that opening term, had 5 of those contested. He looked really dangerous forward of centre. Brodie Grundy got his hand on the ball. He's the second most ranking player, had kicked the goal as well. But Finn Callaghan, despite that tag from James Jordan, has 7 disposals in that first term for the Giants.
Luffy, that first quarter, you said the Swans will know if they're switched on by how they start the game. It's fair to say they're switched on.
They're switched on. We're just having a look now on the replay of the first bounce of Toby Green. Dane Rampy going toe-to-toe, as I suggested was going to happen.
You called it, Luffy. You've seen how this game's going to play out. Let's get down to Justin Edwards' boundary side, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Tom Papley has re-emerged from the Swans rooms and he's going to start on the bench, and he's very upset coming to the bench. He thinks that's been a miscommunication. The staff might have thought he wasn't ready to go when he is. He looks like he's going to be okay to go, and he is filthy, Tom Papley. But the other person that was filthy at quarter time was Adam Kingsley. Some strong words for his midfield coach, Ben Hart, as they were walking out to the huddle. Wants to know what's going on in their midfield and their stoppages.
They just showed some footage of Toby Green going around and raising elbows. The free kick he gave on Aaron Francis, he gave Melican a little clip around the ear. So he's not focusing on the football, Toby Green, at the moment. When he dropped that mark, that should have been a mark anyway, the first thing he did was raise the elbow as he ran past
This
Melican.
isn't All-Australian captain Toby Green. This is 2019 bad boy Toby Green we're seeing tonight, Speedy.
And body language experts watching him and Adam Kingsley when Green came off the ground and when they were at the quarter-time huddle just then. Gee whiz, the dynamic there. I think the coach has been let down by the captain in the opening term. So ball in the middle, away we go in the second term on Triple M. Grundy tried to bring it down to his own advantage almost, lays the tackle on Whitfield, and now Gordon tries to take it forward. He's immediately gain tackled by the Giants, and the umpire will have to ball it up again inside the centre square with the Swans leading by 15.
And the other thing too, Flanders, it wasn't just the Swans start. They had the opportunity to kick a couple of goals they should have kicked. They should be at least another 2 goals up.
Restart. Ball forward of centre for the Swans. Warner couldn't take it with him. Iden, Whitfield goes wide. Kelly's going to hook it around on his left. It's going to land in a dangerous spot for the Giants because there's Swans players everywhere, but Cal Brown was superb. Maybe the Irishman can elevate the Giants. Goes through the corridor. Briggs, Callahan. Oh, he didn't have a right foot. No right foot. Advantage paid. McInerney inside forward 50. Hayward marks. 40 out. Not much angle to speak of.
Huge from James Rowbottom. You can see all the players get around him. He was able to just chase down Finn Callahan, who was out. The Giants are away, and the effort to chase down tackle on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay was outstanding.
And the turnover just cost them so much, Bob, because all the Giants players had started that wave, and then once the turnover was there, Will Hayward was goal side of his man by at least 5 metres.
Will Hayward has one from the first quarter. He is the sort of player that can catch fire.
Yeah, but he doesn't like set shots from directly in front.
Oh, and he says, get stuffed, Fluffy!
That's just to make sure he kicks it.
Straight through the middle. Will's got 2. And the Giants suddenly find themselves 21 points in arrears of the Sydney Swans on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard. No matter where you are, Bunnings Trade is here to help tradies, builders and businesses get the job done.
Bolt, you're shaking your head, but
because he's flushed 2 kicks for goal already.
Realistically, if you ever look at the goals that Will Hayward misses, they are generally either directly in front or slight angles, but he kicks the ones on the angles. I tell you who's had some impact, Bolt, you may or may not agree, Aaron Francis in that first quarter. Just the way he bodied line the ball, players got in his way, bumped them out of the way, and he had a couple of good possessions as well.
They've had reward for effort, though. They're going forward. The Swans have been able to capitalise, hitting the scoreboard these last couple of opportunities.
Triple M C-Bus Super Special reverse mocks from Troy Love. So back in the middle, Swans lead by 21 points. Grundy takes it out of there, gets the better of Briggs and tumbles one to the half-forward flank. Bouncing ball, Iden slaps it forward. Mills first to it, tapped it to a teammate's advantage. Hayward's hands to Roberts. Slick hands on the outside to Gordon. He could afford a fumble. Able to tidy up and go back to Blakey. The Lizard drops it inside forward 50. Giants have the numbers, but they mucked it up. They left it for Warner, who does the team thing. Goes across the face of goal, gives his teammate every chance. Lloyd comes down with it. Back to McInerney. His handball back for a snap shot that's going towards goal, and it's score review coming up here. Has Wicks kicked a rare goal from the half-forward flank? And let's listen to the umpire here.
I'd just like to check if the ball is touching the line. Sure. Score review. Umpire's call is touched, one behind.
No, he's saying it was touched on the line. Wicks didn't look too confident. This won't be a goal to be a minor score. He needed an extra .1 of power.
Just.
Hit 44 goals across his career, Wicks, but that one just thinned the snap a little bit on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
Just half a football in it there, Bolts.
Hasn't kicked one this year. Sam Wicks, of course, playing as a small defender in 2025.
Confirmation of the umpire's call. It was touched behind. Harvey Norman Android price splits is on now. Score unbeatable deals on big brand mobiles, in-store and online. Best prices guaranteed. Giants are going to attack to the outer side. Ash to Iden. 2-on-1 outer side. Toby Green outgunned. Mills floated across. Took the mark. Now goes to the corridor. Grundy.
Move outside 5. Clown.
Runner comes from behind. Dane Rampy. Numbers on the near side. It's a wobbly kick. Hambling's got all the time in the world to assess it, though. Melican is his option short.
No one's going at him here, Flanners. Have a look.
They're happy to just have the footy in the hands of Joel Hambling, who gives it back to Dane Rampy. Now they'll attack to the outer side, the Swans. They want that corridor kick. Wicks has the football. Just standing motionless, Sam Wicks. Eventually he says, I'm going to drive it long. I'm going to get it towards the 50, but Connor Iden will mark that.
Terrible.
And that's what they didn't want to do. You could see the Giants were trying to lull them in to that false sense of security and send it long.
Who
where the
can find
interceptors
the
were.
corridor? The Giants are forced wide here. Cornelio just chipped it out to Darcy Jones right in front of the interchange gates here at NG Stadium. Friday night footy, and the home team trail by 22 points. Early stages of the second term. He just chips one inboard to the logo where Sam Taylor takes the mark. Looking for runners and didn't fancy that. Goes inboard. And Lockie Ash, how many touches is this on the Red Z lending stats?
That'll be his second touch.
Has time for a bounce. Takes on McInerney. Straightens up. Pumps it long. Hogan! Sticky hands when many have fumbled tonight. He clocked it 15 out directly in front.
The Giants haven't had the game on their terms, but once you see Lockie Ash cut through the middle there with time and space, he just drives it long inside forward 50, and Jesse Hogan out on a strong lead. A wonderful contested mark.
What are the inside 50 count, Bolts? Because it hasn't really been in the Giants inside 50 a lot.
+3 in favour of the Swans.
Hogan kicked the first goal of the opening term. Looking to back it up here. Early stages of the second. He's the Giants' only goal kicker tonight. Drop punt on the way from almost directly in front. Shaves the post perhaps. Minor score. 1 goal, 3-9 to 4-6-30. The Giants trail by 21 on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
Hogan's kicked 41 goals, 10 coming into this game, and they're the goals that he always kicks. To miss that.
Averaging 3 goals a game. Basically going as good per game as Jeremy Cameron, who leads the Coleman. He's just missed 4. Heaney, short, had to mark that ball from the kick in and did. Tom Green was right on his hammer.
Thanks, Toby. Outside 5.
Heaney, corridor kick. The Swans are just picking the Giants apart with surgical precision here. It went Heaney to Mills to Goulden to Blakey. Now they're in trouble. Although a handball from Blakey's worked out to Mills. Inside forward 50. I'm not sure if that's how they drew it up as the mark is spilled, but we're going to have a ball up inside the Swans forward 50.
It was a wonderful spoil from Finn Callahan because it hit Rowbottom on the chest. Jordan on the chest.
Yeah, he should have taken it. So now the Giants a chance to get out of there, but Callahan's caught again. He kicks backwards and finds a teammate. How fortunate was that? Lands in the lap of Buckley, who plays on. Hayward tries to break things up. They take on the game and run into traffic. Fonte under enormous pressure, coughs it up. McInerney run. And the shot is a minor score. Another missed opportunity. 4-7-31 the Swans. The Giants 1-3-9 on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
They might come back to rue these missed opportunities. They've had the game on their terms, the Swans.
Said this before the game, Bolts, about inaccuracy. The Swans, it's cost them so much.
Let's get down to Justin Edwards, boundary side Bob Jane teammates. Justin.
Good news for the Swans. Hayden McLean has made his way back to the bench. Looks to be in pretty good spirits. Shared an embrace with Dean Cox. So good to see him on his feet.
That is great news. A nasty concussion in that first quarter. A turnover from Lockie Ash exiting D50. He's found the waiting chest of Goulden, who squares the ball up. Heaney now has it. Centre half forward. 60 from home. No tall targets to speak of inside forward 50. Heaney tries to take on Jones on the mark. Pulls it off. Drags the kick to the pocket. Numbers. What a mark! Surely not! Hayward somehow has taken a juggling mark metres from the goal line. He'll be sent back on a tight angle, but Lockie Ash will not want to see that one on the review.
Is that just fall in his arms, Bolts?
He put the first mid up. It was an unbelievable mark. But even just Isaac Heaney taking on Darcy Jones, one of the quickest players on the mark.
Will Hayward for 3.
He's missed.
No, Luffy, you stick to the specials. You let Speedy and I commentate the game. 3 goals for Will Hayward. 5-7-37 the Sydney Swans, 1-3-9 the Giants. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard. No matter where you are, Bunnings Trade is here to help tradies, builders and businesses get the job done.
It was audacious from Heaney to try and take on one of the quickest players in Darcy Jones. He was forced to the pocket, and it was a kick to a one-on-one, but you can see Will Hayward with Connor Iden. He works him underneath. He had Lockie Ash coming back across, who didn't go hard enough with the spoil. He needed to dispose of that, and then a strong contested mark from Will Hayward on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
And Bolts, as soon as the backman like Iden turn and face you, it's straight to the forward's advantage. His eyes are off the ball. He can't see where it's coming in.
Ordinary passage for Lockie Ash. He turned over possession, kicked it straight to Goulden. Ball comes back. He has a fresh area on the spoil. So the Giants in a big hole here, trailing by 28 points. Ball spills on the outside, but Chad picks it up one-handed, pumps it long. Oh, Francis knocked off it. Ball to be won, left behind. Sheldrick couldn't get a disposal the way he's caught, and that's holding the ball.
He's bounced back, Speedy. Lockie Ash lays the strong tackle as Sheldrick was about to crumb and go and have a shot.
So the margin is 28 points, approaching the midpoint of the second term. It was a great tackle laid by Ash and just lost control of the footy there at a key time. Sheldrick. So the Giants able to take a mark through Cadman on the outer wing. Who's he got to go to? Not a whole lot there. A lot of red and white jumpers well positioned here behind the footy.
Cadman on that left foot. Long down the line, Toby Green. V. Grundy. Swans. Just the better side, more polished, more clean with the football. Mills gave it to Heaney. Heaney went wide. Cal Mills just got barreled. Just got a special delivery from Big Briggsy, and a 50 will be paid as Kieran Briggs remonstrates with the Swans players. Cal Mills is going to be marched probably to the 50-metre arc.
It's these short passes that are just slicing through the Giants' defensive zone at the moment, and that's why Briggs was up there trying to force a bit of contact, but he just dropped Mills.
Is that 50 bolts, you reckon?
Toby, come with me.
Yeah, I think it's
Chad, Tom.
Callum Mills, who took the mark at left half back, will now kick from 50. What a captain's goal! He raises the fist, he celebrates, and the Swans are running away with the derby. 6-7-43, the Giants 1-3-9. The push and shove resumes in the middle. Tom Green at the heart of it, Bolts.
This second quarter's been completely dominated by the Swans. It's 8-1 on the inside 50 count in this second quarter alone in favour of the Swans. 3 goals, 2 they've kicked, dominating contested possession. The Giants midfield need to get back on top and find a way to arrest the momentum at the moment.
One of the best milked 50s in modern day footy from Callum Mills there.
I think the only thing that gave it away was Briggs leaned just, half a foot into him and just sort of gave him a little shoulder. It wasn't much into those, Speedy, really.
It's a big man on a smaller man.
Tom Green has only had the 4 disposals still at this point.
And the Giants' poor discipline is killing them tonight.
I think they've gone hard, but in the wrong way.
Absolutely, they've got it horribly wrong. Riccardi, the backup ruck, tackled by Rowbottom, tried to get a kick away. Buller followed up. His handball to space only favoured Angwin. Quick handball inside to Cornelio, linked up with Himmelberg. His kick towards the forward 50 for the Giants. Good spoil came from Hamling as it breaks on the outside for Wicks to get after. He's tackled immediately as well. How does the umpire see this? He says, give it to me. With the ball up on the half-forward flank for the Giants, who trail by 34 in their first ever Friday night footy at home.
James Rowbottom a little bit slow to get up after laying a big smother on Harry Himmelberg there.
The Gold Coast Suns hosted their first ever Friday night game at home a couple of weeks ago against Collingwood, and there were questions asked as to whether they were ready for the Friday night fixture, and they delivered a win for the ages. Now the Giants being asked the same question. Are they worthy? Are they ready of the Friday night fixture spotlights game? And right now they haven't turned up. 1-3-9, they trail by 34 points. Boundary throw-in right half forward. Again, the Swans just move it forward. Winning the territory battle, winning the possession battle. The Giants, star-studded midfield bolt seems lacklustre right now.
It is. I mean, Toby Bedford only the 2 disposals. Tom Green, as we mentioned, only the 4. Josh Kelly, 5 disposals. They've got to get busy. They've got to get their hands on the footy.
Suddenly, Sydney's season looks very much alive. Goulden coming back about a month and a half ago was key, but he puts it out of bounds on the full here, so the free kick will be taken by Buckley. Just defensive side of centre.
The Giants have had no real meaningful footy forward of centre. They've just got to be able to try and carve the Swans up here.
Seabus super special comments from Duke Bolton as the Giants just chip it around, try and steady things, and they come inboard to Iden now. Still backward of centre, just behind the logo. He steps onto the logo and pokes a drop punt inside forward 50. Off hands, clean hands from Hamling. Nice handball to Wicks in the back pocket. Lloyd, risky kick, big up and under. Only just gets outside of D50 for the Swans. Brought to ground level for Angwin. Another kick from the Giants goes about 15 from home. Offhand string, a great smother came from Mills. He's having some night, the captain. O'Halloran gives Bedford a second crack at it. Fisted clear by Blakey. Cadman tracks it down in the pocket, tries to put the don't argue on Lloyd, but he's pushed out of bounds and will get a stoppage.
Talking about possessions, Bolts, I just heard Stringer's name called there, but has he actually had a possession?
He's had 3 on the Triple M Red Z lending stats.
How many kicks?
He's had 2 kicks.
Boundary throw in. Giants forward 50. Need to make something happen. Ball bounces into the lap of Roberts, who clears defensive 50 to a 1-on-1. Free kick's going to be paid to Angwin for the Giants. So an opportunity, as you hear the cheers come from the Giant heavy crowd.
And that's because it's 10 to 6 in favour of the Swans, but it's been that ill discipline from the Giants in these opening stages.
Angwin going to drive it to a dangerous spot. Hogan's got separation. Clean hands to it. Was he dragged down? Umpire said no. Play on. Buller to Lloyd. Drives it out of defence. Himmelberg in a 1-on-1 v Campbell. Campbell did really well. Textbook crumbing from Papley. Now releases and finds a target in Sheldrick.
That was a great kick. Right under the chest of Sheldrick, who's just taking his time for teammates to surge forward. They've got a comfortable lead of 34 points. He just chips it to Goulden. Pretty good option to put it in this man's hands. He's thinking corridor. Pulls the trigger and finds the target. Lloyd, quick hands to Blakey. The Lizard at full speed. Tumbles one to Francis. Do your best with that, Aaron. He loses out to the numbers, but Fonte's handball. He collects his own handball. Does Fonte. This time it's a better one to Green. And the Orange Tsunami loads up off half back. This looks better for the Giants. Sticky hands from Hogan, about 65 from home. Marks ahead of Hamling, wants to get on with things. Cadman on the move, Stringer on the move inside forward 50, but he goes short on the outside and they chip their way inside forward 50. Green finds Callahan, and this would be some way to break the drought here. Just one goal for the Giants, and Callahan, not a noted goal kicker.
Love the run from Fonte. He's kicking over now. Callahan inside.
And the Swans clocked off there. They let Cornelio just stroll in. He can't go towards goal. It lands about 10 metres out. Ball to be won again here, going towards the boundary line, and over now in the hands of Cadman for another stoppage. For Bob Jane T-March, Justin Edwards.
Yeah, no surprise. Finn Callahan got an uncontested possession. It's the first time all night that he's been on the ground while James Jordan's been off. He's been following him to the bench, but Finn managed to get on beforehand. Jack Buckley just getting some treatment on the Giants bench with a knee. Doesn't look to be too bad at this stage.
Keep an eye on Buckley. Green, bending snap. Tom Green celebrates a big goal for the Giants. They claw one back. 2-3-15. The Sydney Swans 6-7-43. The margin back to 28 points on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard. We wondered where the spark was going to come from. Bolts. Tom Green needed to stand up, and he did.
And it was a poor stoppage there from James Rowbottom. You can see he just ended up being flat-footed. He allowed Green to go through as the hit to, and what a finish. And he absolutely loved it on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. He went straight up to Papley to give him a little bit of lip as well. But that's what you need from your prime midfielders, to stand up in an important moment. If they're on the back foot, the Giants.
And it just shows, Bolts, you've got to stay switched on time. The Swans have got a good lead. They've earned the lead, but you just can't turn off at all.
The Harvey Norman Android price blitz is on now. Score unbeatable deals on Big Brown mobiles, in-store and online. Best prices guaranteed. So back in the middle, the margin back to 28 points. The Swans lead this derby at NG Stadium. Great ruck work from Grundy. Little fumble from Jordan. Cost him a meaningful kick. It travelled about 25. Still tumbles inside forward 50. Ball to be won now. Tidied up by Fonte. Quick hands to Kelly and gets it in the hands of Himmelberg for a nice kick out of D50. Mark taken by Bedford. They want 50, they won't get it. He hands it off to Callahan, who floats a kick into the centre square, hoping for a teammate, and Hamling outpoints Hogan for the intercept mark for the Swans. They trail in that category, a rare one for Hamling there.
He actually pushed him out of the way, going for the mark there, used his own body there, which normally that's Hogan's go.
Cunningham, short, wide. Grundy mark, centre wing out of side. 28 points the margin in favour of the Sydney Swans, who are without Hayden McLean for the rest of the game. Badly concussed in the first contest. We've just seen Joel Hamling come skipping to the bench, potentially holding up a finger, so it might be a dislocation there. We get Justin Edwards to keep an eye on that. As the Swans drive it inside forward 50 once more. Coming across late to spoil was Iden, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Justin Edwards.
Yeah, Joel Hamling's finger in the hands of the trainers, trying to work it back in. Jack Buckley, he's okay. He's just a little cork above the knee. The physio told him to go on the exercise back to keep it moving. He went, I'll be right. I'll just go back on.
Did he just hand over the finger?
Yeah.
Yes, he gave it to the physio.
He'll get it back later. Okay. Free kick inside forward 50 here, going the way of the Swans, given away by Riccardi, who says, who me, to umpire Jacob Mollison. And it wasn't against him. The free kick goes to Papley, in fact.
Papley just picked it, quick as a flash, picked it up.
Is it against Iden? Who's the stats say the free kick's against?
Standing by for the Triple M Harvey Norman replay on that one. Here's a look at it. Plenty of holding going on off the ball. And it's Fonte.
Fonte on Papley.
So Papley's got a chance to kick from inside 50 on a 45-degree angle. He's only kicked 3 goals all season. A lot of injury issues. Oh, and it's coming back against the grain. Oh, my goodness. He's put the sandpaper on the Sheriff and got the reverse swing going. It was out of bounds on the full off the boot dead set, and it came back against the grain, and now he's getting right stuck into Stringer. Let the package know all about it. The Swans lead by 34.
Have a look at the work on this footy. He kicks it off the instep, and it just goes left to right, a hooping swing towards goal. And then after that, he and Stringer clash. Just want to see the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. And here's the stoppage. He's working through, and it's a free kick against Fonte, who grabs a hold of Papley as he was trying to wrap around. But watch, he goes up to Stringer here.
Oh, it's Toby Green.
Toby Green, but watch Stringer come in for the second.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay. We're getting plenty of shots of some back and forthing.
But the Giants have to realise, Flanners, that makes it worse. By riling him up, he loves it. He feeds on that.
Ball back in the middle for McDonald's and Remott Water. Triple M rocks footy, and the Swans are feasting. They've got another clearance through Jordan, inside forward 50. Over the head of Buller.
Papley
now
again.
It's a foot race. Francis to Papley. Surely not! Across the face, minor score.
Adrenaline pumping.
7-8-50 the Swans, 2-3-15 the Giants, and now Tom Papley's going at the Giants fans. He's going at everybody.
Well, even he turned around to the umpire before. He said, I told you Fonte's holding on to me at the stoppages.
And it was there. The free kick was definitely there. It led to the most recent goal. Ball off hands here. 75 from home for the Swans, who lead by 35 points on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard. No matter where you are, Bunnings Trade is here to help tradies, builders and businesses get the job done.
Well, the Giants have been ambushed in this first half, so now they've got to try and arrest the momentum, get the game back on these terms in the last 6 minutes of the quarter.
Grundy again, magnificent. Poked it towards Jordan. Good tackle laid by Goulden, but he put a hand over the shoulder. He's walking a tightrope as well tonight, Errol. Nearly gave away 50 for dissent a moment ago, and now he's playing cat and mouse with Cornelio. And Cornelio will take the free kick. No 50 given up, and it's really slowed things down. He won't have a whole lot to go to here, you wouldn't imagine.
Move it on, play on.
Told to move it on by the umpire. So he pokes one to centre wing to Darcy Jones against Wilson. McKidd in the lead. Able to take the mark, rode through that contact and goes quickly to Riccardi, about 70 from home for the Giants. They trail by nearly 6 goals, the home team. Pulls it into the pocket. Hogan doesn't mind that, but it slips off hands after he nudged Melican under the footy. Mills in the back pocket having a storming night. Gets it out of D50 for the Swans. And Blakey picks up the loose ball, tackled immediately. Riccardi could almost kick it from here after getting the free kick.
Terrific tackle from Jake Riccardi. He was just able to just wrap his arms around Nick Blakey, who was off. He was cutting through the middle, and now he gets an opportunity.
He's sucking in the big ones. Jake Riccardi. Has he got the journey here? He'll nearly need to kick this 60. And everyone back on the goal line, ready to touch this one through for the Swans. He gives it everything, drop punt style, going across the face of goal. And through for a minor score. 2 goals for 16. They trail by 34 points again, the Giants.
Cal Mills brings it in. He's just about been the Swans' best out here tonight. Francis beaten to it by Buckley. Thumps it back inside defensive 50 for the Swans. Wicks got hit by Riccardi. Grundy forced to do a bit of roving work. Connor Iden couldn't keep it in front of Heaney. We'll have a boundary throw in left half forward.
Well, they say don't handball to a ruckman. Don't receive one from a ruckman.
That was a hospital handball if you've ever had one. Just hung in the air, and Riccardi had a chance to just gobble Wicks up.
So the Giants crowd trying to get involved and inspire their team, who trail by 34 points here, approaching half-time. Briggs, that kick affected by Warner. So Gordon able to tidy up and get a handball to Rowbottom. His handball back to Wicks, who hooks it over his shoulder towards centre wing. The Giants spoil one another there, and it stays in for Jordan, whose handball to Gordon on his wrong side led to a banana down the line from Errol that Lockie Whitfield is able to intercept. Another intercept mark for the Giants. That's about one stat that they do lead, I reckon, tonight, as he goes inboard to Callaghan. How's that going on the Red Z lending stats, Jude?
Callaghan's now up to 10 disposals. Whitfield's had 13, equal with Errol Goulden on the Triple M Red Z lending stats.
Callaghan put it in the Cadman direction. Ball falls to Wicks, wrapped up in a tackle by Green. Rampy put it back into the corridor. That might have been a mistake as Tom Green releases Bedford, who did a do-si-do, rosy, roundy, got dizzy, lost the football. Falls in the lap of Goulden, who just tells everybody to calm down.
Probably not a bad idea, Flanners. They've been going hell for leather for the 25 minutes so far.
Bedford must have lost that in the lights.
As Goulden switches the play to the outer side, Melican down the line, and just like that, the Swans are out through Cunningham.
That's like 5.
Doesn't have a whole lot to go to.
It's definitely attacking tonight by the Giants, the outside 5. They've been told to do that. Force the Swans players to kick over. See? Outside 5 again.
Gee whiz,
they're just dropping back
on another night. Jake Lloyd, aware of the rules, and the umpire says, I don't fancy giving you 50 for that. So he's forced the kick from just defensive side of halfway, and free kick the Swans asked for. They won't get it. It goes the way of the Giants. In fact, Mark was taken by Buckley. He's told to give it to his teammate, and now they chip it around inside defensive 50. From one side to the other, they get it in the hands of O'Halloran now, who goes down the line quickly, looking for Cadman. Good spoil came from Rampy. Stays in though for Cornelio. He's got time to steady and straighten up. Bedford this time lost it in flight again, I fancy, and intercept mark taken by Melican. Toby Bedford's been a target inside forward 50, and it's not quite working.
Kicked it over his head again there. It was just faded over the top, and Melican was able to read that in flight.
2:30 left on the clock for the second quarter. The Swans lead it by 34 points. They've got the football in their defensive 50. Melican has it right back pocket. And if you're looking for a saving grace for the Giants, it's probably as Melican almost coughs it up, forces Blakey into a rush kick, turnover, opportunity late. Brown with the football for the Giants.
Hogan on Mills in the deep.
Brown can't kick it 70 metres, so he was never going to get it there. He went backwards to Ash. Jesse Hogan is fuming. Callaghan has it. Now he plays on. Wheels and goes. Pulls the kick. Cadman has the run. Cadman has the leap. And Cal Mills, that's where the mismatch ended up. He switched with Melican for Hogan, found himself on Cadman, and Cadman has marked 25 out directly in front.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Mills was screaming out for Melican to come back and pick up his direct opponent in Hogan there, so he went on to Cadman, and as you see, Cadman just had clear access to the footy, and Grundy caught underneath because Briggs just engaged him.
Briggs was clever.
And it was Melican's fault the ball got into that situation anyway by messing around with it here on the boundary instead of just getting it on.
Really important moment for the Giants, and their young star kicks their third, cuts the margin back to 28 points, and keeps the Giants with a heartbeat in this Sydney derby.
Just going back to the Melican Bolts, that they had the ball, they had clean possession, they've got 2 minutes to go, slow it down, but then he's had a bounce and he got indecisive. He's given a poor handball to Blakey, and then Blakey just had to snap the ball and ends up coming straight back at them. So they just need to control it with only a couple of minutes to go.
Such an important moment, just on the cusp of half-time for the Giants, just to go in with some confidence. They've been rattled by the way the Swans have come out, owned the footy for large parts of this first half.
If there's a saving grace to this for the Giants, it's that this has happened in the first half. They play fast enough footy to come back from this.
So back in the middle, margin back to 28 after the goal from Cadman, who's really growing in stature week by week. Grundy able to get the centre clearance. Fonte flew into action, left the footy behind. Goulden, rare kick on his right boot, and boy did it show. Right onto the chest of a defender.
It's just for balance. It's just for balance, that right foot.
Getting onto buses for Errol when required. Kicked it straight to Himmelberg. Another intercept mark taken by Harry. Goes long down the line. Briggs sets himself. Says the Cadman, how about you pay me back here and get rid of Blakey for me? He takes an uncontested mark effectively. Big Briggs. Inside the final minute of game time in this second quarter. And I reckon it's almost game on again here. That margin back to 28 points on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Especially if the Giants can get one more late. Whitfield drives it to left half forward. Cadman in the contest. Ball came down to Mills. Quick handball to Goulden. A hopeful kick. Francis led out strongly. Papley missed the target with the handball. Went back and got it. Goulden into Roberts. Row bottom. There's nothing inside forward 50 for him to kick to. So now he just wants the dream bounce. It doesn't get it. It sits up. Ash will take it. And that'll probably do us for the rest of the quarter.
Final seconds. And the siren is about to sound here. The Swans with a big lead in Derby 31. It's a fixture that they have dominated, of course. And they lead 7-8-50 to the Giants 3-4-22. A big Friday night footy game at NG Stadium for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Bunnings Trade. No matter where you are, Bunnings Trade is here to help tradies, builders and businesses get the job done.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
When you're passionate about the footy, you know the game like the back of your hand. It's a bit like that at your local Mitre 10 Trade Centre. We're passionate about the trade and we know it better than anyone. With expert advice and top quality timber and building products, our dedicated trade teams are ready with specialised service backed by an Australia-wide network. So while you support your team, Mitre 10 Trade is supporting you. That's mighty helpful, Mitre 10.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. We've got top brands at budget-friendly prices at Bob Jane T-Marts. Want a free tyre? Buy 3 Bridgestone, Yokohama or Kumo tyres and the 4th tyre's free. Get up to $200 instant cashback on Bridgestone and Pirelli tyres. Plus, receive a free gift card up to $250 when you buy 4 selected tyres. We won't be beaten with our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
50 out on the boundary. Simo, self-employed mechanic from Cranbourne. Knocked back by the big banks when he applied for a loan. Don't forget that. But he backs himself now. And that is what Red Z loves. Kick set. Oh, an almighty roost. Straight through the eye diddle with Red Z backing him all the way.
Loans for the self-employed? Win with Red Z. Talk to your broker or contact Red Z. Australian Credit Licence 311128.
Looking for the best deal on a new mobile? Harvey Norman Android price splits on now. Save $100 on Motorola G85, now under $300. Save $200 on Samsung Galaxy A56, now just $498. Save $100 on Samsung Galaxy A16, now under $200. And Oppo A55G, $258, save $40. More big savings on mobiles in store and online. Android price blitz on now. Harvey Norman. Best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
At Choice Hotels, you get the best value, so you can check into more. And right now, you can get 10% off your next break. From regional road trips to beachside getaways, Choice Hotels has over 7,500 locations worldwide and the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead, check into more with Choice Hotels. Subject to availability, T's and C's apply. See choicehotels.com for details.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Cbus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong long-term returns for after the final whistle. Cbus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Cbus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
When you're passionate about the footy, you know the game like the back of your hand. It's a bit like that at your local Mitre 10 Trade Centre. We're passionate about the trade and we know it better than anyone. With expert advice and top quality timber and building products, our dedicated trade teams are ready with specialised service backed by an Australia-wide network. So while you support your team, Mitre 10 Trade is supporting you. That's mighty helpful, Mitre 10.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Specsavers Audiology. Rediscover the joy of everyday sounds with a Specsavers hearing expert today.
A first ever Friday night home game at NG Stadium for the GWS Giants. And maybe the lights are a little too bright for the big brother of the Harbour City. At halftime, the main break, they trail the Sydney Swans in Derby 31 by 28 points. 7-8-50 the Sydney Swans. 3-4-22 the GWS Giants. Liam Flanagan, Brenton Speed, Troy Luff, Jude Bolton and Justin Edwards, your call team for what has been a dynamic, excitement, firework-filled first half of football, capitalised and emphasised by Hayden McLean going out with a heavy concussion in the very first contest of the game. The Swans forced to activate their sub, Aaron Francis, immediately within the first 60 seconds of the game, Luffy.
I know it was a bad start for the Swans and for Hayden McLean. It just doesn't give them much height, and the Swans have had to work their way into the forward line. Every time they've done a dump kick, the Giants have ran away with it. They've got too much tall down there. And you mentioned about the Giants and might not like the Lights. They've played 4 night games this year, Flanners. They've won 1 against Essendon inside Marvel with the roof closed. They lost 2 at Manuka and 1 in Launceston. So they don't like the night games when it's cold.
Okay.
So the only one they've won is inside Marvel. They've lost the other 3 night games.
There you go. There's some Seabus super special comments for you from our man Troy Love. Bolts the numbers from that first half. Interesting to know what the free kick tally is, because it feels like, if according to the Giants biased crowd here in attendance, that the Swans got the rub of the green.
Well, it's 11-9 in favour of the Swans. At one stage it was 10-5 in favour of the Swans. And there was opportunities for Sydney to really capitalise on some of those free kicks. They were right in front of goal. We talk about the one that Toby Green gave away, 2 reversed free kicks that resulted in James Jordan having a shot on goal, and he missed that subsequent shot. But Errol Goulden's had 18 disposals. Lockie Whitfield's had 15. Brodie Grundy has been super busy, has had 13 disposals, 8 of those contested and a goal. Finn Callaghan, who's had the James Jordan tag, has been busy. He's had 12 disposals. Himmelberg and Cornelio 10. Lloyd, Blakey have both had 12 disposals, and Papley has been lively. But the multiple goal kickers has been Will Hayward for the Swans with 3 in the first half. But you just look at the disposals. There's been plus 24, plus 26 in favour of Sydney, as well as plus 4 inside 50s, and they're 14 plus in contested possession. So they've been getting it done at the coalface and then being able to run and change directions. They've sliced through the Giants, and I've just loved the way the Swans have been competing forward of centre, because the interceptors in Buckley and Taylor early on looked like it was going to be all over. But Francis has been, just prominent as well, just keeping it to ground. Will Hayward's obviously taken a couple of marks in the front half as well. So they've just competed, and they've had more winners across the footy.
And the other thing too, Bolts and Flanners, I mentioned to you about Toby Green before the game. Just get in his head a little bit, and all of a sudden his focus more on bumping other players and not getting the ball. What's his Red Z lending stats for Toby Green, Bolts, at halftime?
Toby Green has only had the 3 disposals.
Well,
three disposals.
I'm also told that on the Fox Footy coverage, and obviously players' weights aren't disclosed anymore, but when Toby did a post or first half interview on the way off the ground, and when we were asked about Tom Papley in that first half, Toby said of Tom, he looks a little bit overweight. So he's still throwing barbs, he's still throwing punches off his back foot, is Toby Green.
And right on cue, we just saw a Triple M Harvey Norman replay when Papley appeared to suggest the same thing about Stringer.
Bit of fat shaming going on out the ground. This is the halftime break for Specsavers Audiology. Specsavers Audiology, rediscover the joy of everyday sounds with a Specsavers hearing expert today. The Nobody Gives a Stuff Cup that's going on. The other game tonight, Choice Hotels around the ground. Choice Hotels gets you more for your money, so you can check into more. Get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. The Bulldogs are 67 points ahead of the Bombers with 3 minutes left to play in the third term. They've got 9 9 goals out of their twin towers. The Astronaut, Aaron Norton and Sam Darcy have combined for 9 goals. 5 to the Astronaut, 4 to Darcy, and we've still got a quarter to play. So that game going very much as Toby Green himself predicted midweek, that no one really cared about it because the Dogs had win comfortably. Here, he finds himself 28 points adrift at half-time.
And what a response tonight when you lose McLean in the opening minute, and then you had plenty of time, 7 minutes for the teams to get in a huddle and talk it over about how they're going to attack the game afterwards. The Swans were the ones who produced.
Well, they were the ones who settled straight after that. They were able to come in, just reset after Hayden McLean went down, and they came with their head in the game rather than just getting caught up, giving away silly free kicks. And they've been able to score on turnover, and that's where, leading into this game, I thought there's probably an ascendancy for the Giants, their ability to slice teams up and go on turnover, but it's 5-3 just to the single goal on turnover in favour of the Swans on the Triple M Red Z lending stats.
Friday night footy here at NG Stadium. It can get the best of the best. Some people can wilt under the heat of Friday night lights, Jude Bolton. And thankfully, when clangers happen, it's lucky you're with Amy. Here's the Amy clanger from the first half from the Triple M footy commentary box.
And they got a shot because they did go immediately inside 50 that you wanted to see at the other end. Lufty. Amy Clanger, right on cue.
This is a man who's just spent a couple of weeks pronouncing some of the most difficult to enunciate names in world tennis, and yet Troy Luff, 2 syllables, beyond him.
Who is Lufty? I threw the T from Troy into Luffy.
I don't think you've actually seen me all year. I don't think I've actually worked with
Victoria Azarenka, no problems. Who else did you call? Yannick Sinner, no dramas.
Barbora Krejcikova?
No dramas.
Yep.
Wow. But Troy Luff,
that's a tough one.
It's beyond the great Brendan Speed. Seriously, you need to spend a little less time with the Europeans, a little bit more time here with us, Speedy.
I'll cop the whack.
The Amy Clangers here. This is the halftime break for Specsavers Audiology. Specsavers Audiology. Rediscover the joy of everyday sounds with a Specsavers hearing expert today. Obviously, the Oz kickers out on the ground enjoying the spectacle, Luffy. It is a beautiful night for footy.
It is a beautiful night for footy. And another thing you mentioned at the start of the game was about cutting off the supply to the forward line. And Bolts will have a quick look at marks inside 50 for the Giants. But at the moment, Jesse Hogan's had just the 4 disposals, 1 goal. Brown's had 3, no score. Stringer, 3, no score. And we mentioned Toby Green's had just the 4. Cadman's had 7 touches. He has kicked the 1 goal, but as far as marks inside 50...
Yeah, 4 to the Giants, only 3 to the Swans, but they've been just sort of...
But they've just, worked it in.
Keeping it low.
But it's the Giants that you had to worry about. 4 marks is all it had.
Is there a concern, or not a concern, but is there, with the Swans and the way they're playing, that inside forward 50, if the Giants can compose themselves and just find a bit of that composure?
They are relying on the bigs to take a mark, a pack mark. That's probably the problem.
It's funneling a little bit too much to Jesse Hogan. They can scan their eyes, but it's the likes of Lockie Ash, who's only had 7 touches in that first half. Normally they're able to get their hands in the footy, get it in the good ball users' hands and make good decisions, and it's been really rushed.
Even Lockie Whitford, you said he's had 15 touches, but the Swans have had 8 points. So that's 8 kicks that he's had. So you take that, he's had 7. 7 kicks in play.
Swans had to activate their sub in the opening minute. McLean goes out, Francis comes in. The Giants still have the sub up their sleeve. It can be a game changer in the second half. You've got Toby McMullen is the sub tonight. How do you utilise that sub to bring out the best in him?
Yeah, he plays that sort of half-forward role, can push inside a little bit. So, if Stringer doesn't get going, that's probably somewhere you could potentially look at. But I've liked the way Fonte's taken the game on off half-back, and that's what they need. They need to get that tsunami going. We need to see run and link up. So McMullen's, I'd be putting him in that sort of half-forward role, high half-forward role.
There is a lot to play out. You get a sense that the Giants have got a run in them. 28 points. The way the orange tsunami can flow, it can go in the blink of an eye. But will it? Will Big Brother allow them the opportunity to fight their way back into this derby? We're going to find out after the break. Jude Bolton, Troy Lufty to his friends. Justin Edwards, Brendan Speed, Liam Flanagan. That's your call team for what is set up to be a barn burner of a second half here at NG Stadium in the west of Sydney. For McDonald's and Marine Hot Water, Triple M, Rocks Footy.
That halftime break for Specsavers Audiology. Rediscover the joy of everyday sounds with a Specsavers hearing expert today.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. We've got top brands at budget-friendly prices at Bob Jane T-Marts. Want a free tyre? Buy 3 Bridgestone, Yokohama or Kumo tyres and the 4th tyre's free. Get up to $200 instant cashback on Bridgestone and Pirelli tyres. Plus, receive a free gift card up to $250 when you buy 4 selected tyres. We won't be beaten with our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
50 out on the boundary. Simo, self-employed mechanic from Cranbourne. Knocked back by the big banks when he applied for a loan. Don't forget that. But he backs himself now. And that is what Red Z loves. Kicks it. Oh, an almighty roost. Straight through the eye diddle with Red Z backing him all the way.
Loans for the self-employed? Win with Red Z. Talk to your broker or contact Red Z.
Australian credit license 31128. Looking for the best deal on a new mobile? Harvey Norman Android price splits on now. Save $100 on Motorola G85, now under $300. Save $200 on Samsung Galaxy A56, now just $498. Save $100 on Samsung Galaxy A16, now under $200. And Oppo A5 5G, $258, save $40. More big savings on mobiles in store and online. Android price splits on now. Harvey Norman. Best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
At Choice Hotels, you get the best value, so you can check into more. And right now, you can get 10% off your next break. From regional road trips to beachside getaways, Choice Hotels has over 7,500 locations worldwide and the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead, check into more with Choice Hotels. Subject to availability, T's and C's apply. See choicehotels.com for details.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Cbus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong long-term returns for after the final whistle. Cbus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Cbus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
When you're passionate about the footy, you know the game like the back of your hand. It's a bit like that at your local Mitre 10 Trade Centre. We're passionate about the trade and we know it better than anyone. With expert advice and top quality timber and building products, our dedicated trade teams are ready with specialised service backed by an Australia-wide network. So while you support your team, Mitre 10 Trade is supporting you. That's mighty helpful, Mitre 10.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. We've got top brands at budget-friendly prices at Bob Jane T-Marts. Want a free tyre? Buy 3 Bridgestone, Yokohama or Kumo tyres and the 4th tyre's free. Get up to $200 instant cashback on Bridgestone and Pirelli tyres. Plus, receive a free gift card up to $250 when you buy 4 selected tyres. We won't be beaten with our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Totally Workwear. Rise and grind with Totally Workwear. Seriously tough workwear, safety and uniform gear for serious players. Totally Workwear. Love your work.
Players back on the field at NG Stadium. Friday night footy in the Harbour City. Sydney Derby 31. Swans have won the last 5 of these and they're looking to make it 6 in a row with a 28-point lead at the main break. Liam Flanagan, Brendan Speed, Troy Luff, Jude Bolton, Justin Edwards. That's your call team for what is turning into a finals-like atmosphere here at NG Stadium this quarter, all thanks to Totally Workwear. Chilly enough for you, mate. The crew at Totally Workwear know that on the site, the ward or out on the oval. You've got to show up ready to tackle whatever the weather throws at you. Luckily, Totally Workwear's got the workwear, safety gear and uniforms you need for the toughest jobs and plays. Totally Workwear. Love your work. Bolts, we're always learning things in this game of broadcast, radio. And I sat here before that last ad break with a Snickers bar in my hand. And Brenton Speed looked at me and said, how do you go after eating a chocolate bar and then getting it out of your teeth? And I thought, what is Speedy talking about? Now, I polished off that Snickers bar, Bolts. It was a mistake because I've got Speedy. No, I should have listened to the great man. He knew exactly what he was saying. I think you're going to be calling most of this third quarter, Speedy. I can't get those peanuts out of my teeth. Always learning stuff, Bolts.
That's why you have a
What about these results, these two Friday night games? If the Swans win this game, the Giants take on the Bulldogs next week. The Bulldogs would be able to go ahead of the Giants if they win that game because they're winning big tonight and have a big advantage percentage-wise on the Giants. The Giants have to try and turn it around here.
This is a massive second half for them, and absolutely they're capable of doing it. If they can get their hands on the footy and start to get some run from half-back, the likes of Ash and Whitfield getting a bit more busy, and just the Darcy Jones, the high half forwards getting involved in the chain, they need to get some free flow because the Sydney have just stifled their run in that first half.
There was so much going on at the halftime siren. There was an on-field interview Ben Dixon was doing for Fox Footy with Toby Green. As that interview was unfolding, you'd think it's all settled and the teams have gone their separate ways. There were clashes as they headed towards their respective tunnels.
Genuine hatred of each other, these two teams.
We know the Giants are good here, second halves, particularly last quarters. They've won 13 last quarters this year, and I think the Swans will know that. In saying that, the Swans have won 11 last quarters, so it's going to be a very tough last quarter.
The Swans' big names have come to the party tonight. The likes of Heaney, Warner, Grundy have been magnificent. Hayward has hit the scoreboard up forward. Can they keep it going in the third quarter? The Swans lead by 28 points. The Giants have to find a response. They're being revved up by their coach, Adam Kingsley, who's unbeaten in July. 12-0 record. Is an unlucky 13th game tonight in July. As Grundy again tapped it down, intended for Heaney, but he slipped, allowing Green to soccer forward, tidying up by Rampy. Now the Swans under enormous pressure. Handball back in the path of Rampy, who tried to paddle it around Jones, then laid the tackle on Stringer, and the Giants able to work it out. Green now, Banana against the grain, headed towards goal, and rushed through by Melican for an early minor score. Never going to kick one from there, you wouldn't think, with the Banana.
Banana the wrong way around, but I tell you what, the pressure and intent early from the Giants, really good start to this third term.
Already a different energy about the Giants as Blakey takes it straight up the high diddle. Buckley couldn't complete the mark, falls in the lap of Roberts, pursues the football. Fonte's caught out, that'll be holding the football. No!
Oh, he took him on there, Liam.
He did, he took the tackle on, Luffy, you called it, but we'll have a ball up. Centre half forward for the Sydney Swans. They lead it by 27 points. Umpire gets it moving quickly, a free kick. It's going the way of Briggs. Advantage paid. Callahan takes off. Rampy won't catch him. One bounce, two bounce, open goal square. The youngster on the left has kicked a very big goal. He ran 60 metres, he kicked it another 70. 4-5-29 the Giants, 7-8-50 the Swans. Game on, 21 points to div. Triple M totally workwear scoreboard.
What a huge moment to start this third term. Once again, a free kick at the ruck contest, but they took advantage immediately. And it was Callahan who knew he had the pace to run away from Rampy. He tucked it under the wing. He took a couple of bounces and a prodigious long running goal from outside 50. Just outstanding from the star midfielder from the Giants, Finn Callahan.
Conversion often an issue for this guy, Finn Callahan. It's 4 goals, 9 this year, but they'll remember this one for a long time to come. He received it at one end of the centre square. 2 bounces through the centre square. Swerved his way around to get rid of Rampy and then kicked truly. So back in the middle, Grundy's tap again. To no one in particular. Kelly tapped it to the advantage of Green, and now the Swans converge on the footy and good numbers. Lloyd taken high. It's an advantage here for the Swans. Goulden sets it up perfectly. Shot on the run towards goal. There's the immediate answer. Justin McInerney on the right boot from 40 out directly in front. Set up beautifully by Goulden with the cushion handball, and the Swans lead by 27 points again.
It's just the killer, isn't it, Speedy, that Callahan's kicked that goal. The Giants are up and about. They've got the first goal within 18 seconds. The answer, the Swans have responded straight away, and it's back to the same score it was at half-time. And the Swans need to do that, Bolts, because they know that they get a sniff out here. They get a couple of goals in a row. The crowd gets behind them, and the players lift.
Interesting also, it was Lockie Ash who was on McInerney, and he tried to cut up and get involved in the chain. It was his man who went back the other way and kicks that goal.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments coming from a couple of Swans champs tonight. Troy Love, Jude Bolton, Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Balls back in the middle. Margin back to 27 points. Rotten bounce. Gave Grundy no hope. Briggs went the big fist forward. Tom Green tackled Rowbottom. Wicks handballed defensively. Blakey caught with the football. Went in the Grundy direction. The big ruckman did well to keep it moving forward, but then it got left behind. Now the Giants want to go the other way. This is all happening just forward of centre for the Giants, and we'll have a ball up.
The players literally have a split second to get rid of the ball tonight because they are tackling instantly.
Centre bounce should have been recalled, shouldn't it? Grundy had no shot. Well called by Flanners, but umpires didn't see it that way. Now the ball in dispute. Jordan almost threw that to McInerney. Umpire saw it that way. It's a good call, I reckon. He was on the blind side nearly too. Free kick goes to that man Callahan, who kicks to a 1-on-1. The Swans slipped. Gave Brown every chance. How well did Blakey do to retrieve the situation? Handballs out the back to Lloyd. Slips through the tackle of Hogan, gets the handball back to Heaney, deep inside defensive 50. His kick to the centre wing will work out for the Swans as they lay a good tackle on Taylor, and there's no way out. Oh, he's gone, in fact. Wow. Patley got Sam Taylor, and now he takes the corridor on Patley and finds Goulden. Big chance here for the Swans. Goulden pokes it further afield to the other wing for Matty Roberts. And he doesn't see anything he likes initially. Swings onto his left and eventually pulls the trigger to a 1-on-1 in the pocket. The Giants have the numbers, and well played by Buckley. Spoiled it deliberately for Angwin, and now they're out of D50.
Jones turned back inside. Angwin continued his run on that left shoe. It's a wobbly kick. Going to sit up for Rampy. It doesn't. He's pursued by Stringer. Great tackle late on the outer side by Lockie Whitfield on Goulden. Big moment now for the Giants. The runner comes past. It's O'Halloran. Inside forward 50. Cadman. 35 out directly in front. This game has opened up in the third term, Bolts.
Well, that's where you get your best looks going inside 50 when you put enormous pressure like that on the wing from Lockie Whitfield, and he just waited for his teammate to swing past the drive by the quick hands, as you see, to O'Halloran, who just lasers one out to Cadman.
Be interested to see who's playing on Cadman there, because he was 10-15 metres on his own.
The young man who signed a 4-year extension, he's committed his future to this football club. Couple of breakout games this year. He enjoys the Friday night lights. Cadman's got 2. Margins back to 21 points. Triple M Totally Workwear scoreboard. Rise and grind with Totally Workwear. Seriously tough workwear, safety and uniform gear for serious players. Totally Workwear, love your work.
Swans just have to be a little bit careful here, because they're giving the Giants a little bit of room in the forward line. That's twice it's come in, and they've had opportunities to hit targets because they're all starting to run free. Now it might be Callum Mills who stands on Cadman. No, is that Melican? So he was nowhere near him. He wasn't even in the picture. On the big screen, we didn't even see him. So where was he? Was he just zoning off?
4 inside 50s already this quarter, but 2 goals won the Giants. They're scoring heavily when they go in.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Ball back in the middle. The margin is back to 21 points in Sydney Derby, number 31. Grundy and Briggs lock up again. Briggs got a fist on it, goes only as far as Roberts, came in off the wing, affected the clearance. Handball went to Heaney. His kick on the outside made it tough on Goulden. Ball sat in the air, and Himmelberg just played it expertly towards the boundary line. Goulden says, how about insufficient intent? Umpire says, toss this one in.
Brody, Darren.
Centre wing out of side. This derby is living up to expectations. And while Toby Green, the skipper's had a stinker thus far, you get a sense that he's going to have a moment. Heaney, handball forward. Green just got rid of Rowbottom. That's been a fascinating watch tonight, that one-on-one battle. Ball gathered by Heaney. Corridor handball. Wicks under pressure. Gathered by Roberts. Goes out wide. Hands of Warner. Inside forward 50. Papley back with the flight. Oh, he dropped it on the second attempt. Connor hands and knees. Connor Iden. Papley goes after it on his knees. This is intense stuff inside forward 50. Warner can't brush the Ash tackle. Backwards to Roberts. This high, hopeful kick won't be required distance. It'll be play on. No, Green took the mark. Umpire said far enough. Kicks wide.
Pulls it across his body, and a bouncing ball on the logo. Who wants it? Stringer does. He got rid of his opponent too. Opened up space and then chips cleverly. Just outside scoring range, you'd think Riccardi. He marked about 55 out. Doesn't pull the trigger on the kick. He's directing traffic, saying go into the pocket on the lead. Makes it tough on his teammates. It's spoiled off hands for a boundary throw in here.
No one really gave him an opportunity to put their hand up. It was Cadman going back towards goal. He just didn't present back at the footy.
But a kick into the pocket, I mean, how's that going to lead to something when the Swans had an advantage of 3-2? So the boundary umpire will toss it in. Giants looking to launch a comeback in this third quarter. Trail by 21. Briggs got the better of Grundy this time, but Grundy came back, made the tackle. Umpire let it roll. And Cunningham got it to Roberts on his wrong side, and it showed. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full, the left footer. So the free kick going to the Giants, about 60 from home.
Big opportunity for GWS here. Slow play though, so Sydney have dropped back in the hole.
They're also making a few mistakes here, Bolts, in this third quarter, the Swans. Poor kicks, poor skill errors.
So it was such a high level of performance in that first half, wasn't it, Luffy?
Yeah.
As Kelly to drive it inside, forward 50. Hogan, Briggs, all the big tall timber there. No mark taken. We'll have a ball up. We're 10 metres out from the Giants forward 50.
It's like they're rushing at Flanners, the Swans. They're getting the ball and just trying to kick where they have more time, and they end up just kicking poor decision making and poor skills.
Riccardi set play. Oh, Briggsy on the end of it, doing some ruck rover work. Had the left foot shot on the run, nearly came up with something. The margin is back to 20.
There is no way that's a set play, Speedy. Riccardi to Briggs is not on Adam Kingsley's bingo card.
He's a big body though, Briggsy. He played it expertly, so the Swans able to kick in and find Roberts on the halfback flank.
Move it on.
The Swans now, the ones trying to regain momentum. Kick down the line in hope to Francis. Sam Taylor starting to get a handle on him. That'll be insufficient attempt. That was a kick directly to the boundary line. No other intention there from Toby Green. His dirty night continues. Free kick, Swans, centre wing out of side. NG Stadium, bathed in light.
So they're continuing with this outside five. They'll just force the kicks down the line again. It's what the Giants want.
Going to drop just on the 50 arc. Himmelberg will mark this uncontested. Taylor's body work on Hayward made it an easy mark for Himmelberg.
That's how they want to play. That's their direction.
Oh, trouble here. Poor communication. Lockie Ash makes up for it. Finds Iden. Chip short. Finds Buckley.
How many of the free kicks against the Swans, rather the Giants, they've given away 14 have been against Toby Green, please, Jude. I'll set you to work there on the Red Z lending stats. As the mark is taken by Bedford on the halfback flank. I reckon it's at least 3. It could be 4 against the captain. Up they go. Brought to ground level by Riccardi. 3 it is, Jude.
Yep, 3.
Warner spins through traffic. Light on his feet. Handball back to Rampy, who feigned a handball to Jordan, kicked instead, and Cornelio did well. He left Heaney in his wake as well. Heaney sucking in the big ones behind players. Himmelberg floats one to Callaghan, again in the centre of NG Stadium. Nice looking kick to a one-on-one. Great kick to advantage from Callaghan. Stringer takes the mark.
This is one of the reasons why the Swans sent James Jordan to Finn Callaghan, the danger man through the middle. He's got the ball in hand again. Another driving long forward pass. A wonderful pass to his teammate in Jake Stringer.
And again, that started with a skill error from the Swans. Dane Rampy, poor kick. He had time and he almost hit the Giants player on the chest.
So the Stringer going around the corner here, bending it back, and here they come. The Giants have their 6th of the evening, 6-6-42. They trail the Swans 8-8-56. We're only 12 minutes into the third term on the Triple M Totally Workwear scoreboard.
This is game on now, Luffy. You can see that the Giants have lifted. The Swans have dropped their intensity a little bit. That's where the skill errors have come in. And they've just been able to pounce. You can see the clean hands through the middle, and it just opened up again. Callaghan outside, or went from inside to outside, and he was the one with eyes up. You do not want this man with ball in hand because he is laser-like.
As Akadaka plays out through NG Stadium, the fitting soundtrack of Friday night footy here in Sydney. Jake Stringer cuts the margin to 14 points. Ball back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Don't forget, Macca's Big Arch has now arrived at Macca's. Riccardi, too good for Buller, too strong. Ball on the deck, going to be picked up by Riccardi again. Tried to handball backwards. Hayward, Warner went out of midair. It's going to land at centre half forward. Big fly from Francis. Couldn't complete the mark. Taylor Shovel handball out wide. Here he is. Finn Callahan is officially off the leash. Sends it long towards the dangerous territory. Cadman! The youngsters are flying. Aaron Cadman inside forward 50. Hogan's going to get a free kick and go back to kick at goal number 7 for the Giants. 45 out.
Massive couple of minutes from the GWS Giants. Their ability to just turn and go. Callahan's been busy, and now Hogan gets his opportunity after gets the arms chopped by Hamling in the contest. He just bringing the left arm down.
I just had the arm. Yeah,
Hogan, huge opportunity to put the Giants right back in this.
The world said goodbye to a famous Hogan today. Hulk Hogan. No more. Friday Night Lights. The Hulkster would have enjoyed these conditions. Jesse's pushed it across the face. He wouldn't like that kick. Toby on the goal line!
Cadman, it was.
There's going to be a score review, but Toby on the spot. Cadman may have tapped it back.
Call is 1 goal. Can we please check
This is genius from Cadman.
Talk us through it, Bolts.
Well, it's going to be the fat bit, so you can't see the ball, so that should be still in play, and it means it goes back into Toby Green. Calling it a goal, absolutely.
Aaron Cadman has volleyball style brought that back into play from the goal line, landed in the lap of Toby Green, and the Giant skipper, who's had a dirty old night, he's cut the margin back to 8 points on the Triple M Totally Workwear scoreboard. Game on.
The Swans were just caught napping there. They just went to sleep right on the goal line. The ball came back in. It was fantastic work from Cadman.
Bob Jane T-Mart's Justin Edwards.
Joel Hamling just hobbled from the ground for the Swans to make matters bad for worse. Perhaps just a cork. He doesn't look to be too bad. He was hobbling pretty badly, but perhaps just a cork.
It's so poor from Matt Roberts. He just allowed access for Toby Green to go front and square. He just thought it was through. And then, sure enough, you do not leave one of the most dangerous players in the league in Toby Green.
Cadman has deliberately palmed that 5 metres into the path to perfection. To Toby Green, the margin is back to 8. He's kicked 2 tonight, Cadman. He deserves a goal assist for that. Will it register in the stats, I wonder? As Rowbottom affects the clearance, gets the footy ahead of Tom Green, tumbles it to Goulden, tries to help it on over his head. It finds a teammate too. Great awareness by Goulden, who follows up. He's kicked towards the 50-metre arc. Spoil came from Buckley. Goes after it again at ground level. Paddles it to the Giants' advantage. Ball to be won now. Umpire says give it to me.
We spoke about the Giants needing some run from half-back. In this quarter alone, they've scored 4 goals straight from half-back with defensive 50.
In the No One Gives a Stuff Cup, the Dogs are ahead by 79 points. Norton's kicked 7, Darcy's kicked 5. The Twin Towers absolutely destroying the Bombers.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, James.
This is the game that should have been given standalone rights.
Coming out here.
The Sydney Derby
Same again.
living up to anticipation. 56 the Swans, 48 the Giants, and we've still got a quarter and a bit to go. Inside forward 50.
Huge effort.
Good mark taken by Fonte on Papley.
Been a great matchup, Fonte and Papley.
He's going to release to the outer side, and Taylor takes off. Took on the tackler, made life difficult for himself. Iden there to help, and Taylor keeps his run going. Opted for Angwin instead of Callahan. Taylor's going to continue his run, and now he's in trouble because the Swans have won the footy, and his opponent is free. Roberts chipping it inside forward 50. Hayward to fly. Brought it to ground. Good contest. Fonte was excellent. Releases through the corridor.
Works a 1-2 with Riccardi. And another handball. Now they're out. Riccardi gets it back from Angwin. A chance to steady and straighten, but he's kicked it straight to the Swans. Intercept mark taken by Mills, who says we better calm the farm here because the Swans are onto the pump.
How dangerous is that run through the middle at the moment? Everywhere. They're just linking up through the midfield, the Giants.
Still lead by 8 points, but under enormous pressure with half of this third quarter remaining. Callahan adds to his highlight reel with a spectacular mark.
He's off the chain, Speedy. He's
Give
off
us
the
some
chain.
red Zeds on the fin, the mighty fin.
He's up to 17 disposals on the Triple M Red Z lending stats.
Goes short here.
Stand well.
They're just playing it smart, the Giants. They're forcing the Swans just to continually kick to contests, and it's 3-on-2 the Giants' favour.
So he went to Riccardi, who now drives it into the forward pocket again, hoping for a leaper. Cadman brought it to ground level, did the discipline thing again.
High.
Oh, Bedford's been caught high. A chance to bring it back within one straight kick here.
It's against Errol Goulden, just immediately. It was the non-controlling umpire, but he had the better view. And Bedford earns that free kick in a really dangerous position.
The first umpire went to play my ball as he was running in, but the other umpire called too high.
He's been accurate this year when given the opportunities, Toby Bedford. 8 goals, 2 coming into tonight. He's got a chance to bring them within 2 points here.
He's 5 goals in what we played, 18 minutes.
He's going to go around the corner. They have launched the Orange Tsunami at home. Friday night footy at NG Stadium. He's got it! Kicks truly, make it 9 goals 2 this year for Toby Bedford. And this scoreline quite incredible. The Swans have stopped and the Giants are storming. 8-6-54 the GWS Giants, trailing the Swans 8-8-56.
What was the game high margin, Bolts? Was it 35 points, something like that?
Thereabouts.
Front?
Yeah, I think it was 35 points. Yep, 35 points. 21-minute mark of the second term. But now the Swans are shell-shocked, and you can see the way the Giants have lifted their intensity, their confidence, their ability to link up from half-back, and that's what's brought all of their teammates into the game. So now it's upon the Swans midfielders. How do they get their hands on the football at this next contest? Try and craft out a goal against the run of play.
Jude Bolton, Troy Luff on the Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. If the Giants kick the next goal and hit the lead, this place will erupt.
They kicked 6 of the last 7 goals, the Giants.
They have cut the margin back to 2 points. The ball is in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Briggs just removed Grundy from the equation. Tom Green did the same to McInerney. Did well to stand up in the contest. Ball almost landed back in his lap. Kieran Briggs, the big boy, just moving bodies in the heart of NG Stadium. Time for the Swans now. Grundy closed down. Wicks goes backwards, finds his skipper Mills. Warner's on the loose out wide.
He found him.
Outside 5.
In space. Chad Warner dominated the first quarter. How's he going, the Reds heads now, Jude, as he finds Grundy. Brody Grundy's been enormous. He plays on quickly and finds a target on the half-forward flank now.
Warner's at 16.
McInerney pumps it in the pocket. Great defensive intercept mark taken by Sam Taylor again. What an inclusion he is. One of the best key defenders in the comp. He goes across the face of goal to Himmelberg, who waits to kick it. A kick just outside the defensive arc to find Whitfield.
Well, the inside 50s, Bolts, for this quarter, because it probably almost inside forward half.
10-6 in favour of the Giants in this quarter alone.
Another one coming up for the Swans though. Turnover. Campbell.
End zone.
That's a terrible kick. 1 on 3.
And Hayward undersized against Sam Taylor. And the Giants through that man again, Finn. Finn, no friends. No one's going near him at the moment. Finn Callahan piercing 50-metre pass. Hits Cadman on the chest out wide. Centre wing.
It's not only the turnover and the intercept, it's their trampoline of effect on the back because they're able to link up and run from half-back.
Himmelberg has it, left half-back, and he's forced backwards to Taylor.
And Callahan went all the way to the defensive goal square to pick up the footy and then run. He just keeps on going. Mind you, he's sucking in the big ones right now as Ash works the space, finds Briggs, could afford a little fumble, the big man, but he might kick to his opposite number here. Grundy, he couldn't affect the mark. Got it on the up to Goulden now, who wants a 1-2. Instead, they go to Blakey in the left back pocket, and he pumps it to a 2-on-1 situation. Plenty of holding going on off the footy. The umpire saw it that way. Belatedly gave a free kick to Buckley. I thought he was the one doing interference on the Swan.
I think Buller was trying to force his way past Buckley, but he gave the free kick against Ash in the end.
Yeah, Ash is the one who's the recipient. So Lockie Ash knows he's got a teammate on the outside. He runs around the man on the mark, flicks a handball on the outside to that man Whitfield, whose kick is smothered. It goes inside forward 50 despite that. Rowbottom took on the tackler. Oh, umpire bails him out, and even Rowbottom is puffing the cheeks. They, I dodged the bullet there.
Ball up. Umpire's doing well to move this one on quickly. Cornelio went out of the pack. Not going to get to the goals. Mills stood in the way, gave it to Rampy. Goes the outside of the boot. He's put this out of bounds on the full.
They are so rattled, the Swans, at the moment. They've had 6-6-6 against them. They've had just dump kicks out of defence.
Stand there.
They are absolutely shell-shocked.
Alarm bells are going off,
It's
Luffy.
panic, isn't it? It's
That's
just
when
panic.
15 rows back.
They're panicking, the Swans. They were in a perfect position. They just need to slow down a bit. They're just panicking.
You've just got a pile of pressure on if you're the Giants as well. This is where you've got to capitalise.
Toby Bedford has the football on the boundary, 40 around from the goal. This to give the Giants the lead.
Play on.
Bedford! The Giants are in front. 9-6-60. The Giants have hit the lead. The Swans are shell-shocked.
Toby Bedford's kicked 2 for the quarter. He's just having such an impact, and the Giants are just running away at the moment. Their ability to hit the front. They've worked from half back. They are just slicing through, which they couldn't do it in the first half. The Swans are able to stifle their run. It's suddenly free-flowing. They're able to tsunami, link up, and that's just the dump kick from Dane Rampy. That was panic stations all over. We talk about capitalising, that's going back and slotting it, Speedy.
They are, Bolts. They're all panicking. Someone out there needs to say, boys, come on. Where's that confidence gone we had in the first half?
The Triple M Harvey Norman replay. He has gone for the Steph Curry put them to sleep celebration. Too early for that, isn't it? But that's the confidence of the Giants. They lead by 4 points, and they think they're home. They think they put the Swans to sleep.
It's his nickname, Snooze.
Can Sydney rally here? Good shout, you. As the tackle is laid by Callahan. You reckon that's what it was?
It is.
It wasn't dangerous. Yeah, James. Thanks, mate.
The secondary bounce inside the circles here. They are dominating on the Red Zeds in terms of centre clearances in this third quarter, the Giants.
7-zip.
Green denied another one here as Warner lays the tackle. Tom Green on the Red Zeds, second in the comp for disposals. Gets one here.
10 disposals.
Wobbles one forward, finds the chest of a teammate. It's all breaking the Giants' way. Oh, nearly 50 given away by Rowbottom. Just made a man. He's targeting Himmelberg, but can't stop him taking the mark. And Harry's got forward here. He can launch from beyond the arc and kick another one.
He's a huge kick of the footy, Harry, particularly once he runs out that little arc around onto the right. It's a tight angle.
Has only kicked 1 goal this year, but he's kicked his fair share in his career. 162 goals, 78 in his career. So from right around the entry point to where they come onto the ground, the Giants. He does run around, opens up the angle. Drop punt on the way from 55. Oh, Harry! Everyone's wild about Harry at NG Stadium, and the flow continues. 10-6-66. They lead by 10 points. Clickety-click.
They've kicked the last 6 straight goals, and Harry Himmelberg, look at him running back to defence. He's high-fived everyone on the way back. Absolutely love the celebration, but the ability for him to arc around. This is such a huge kick at a huge moment. 54 metres out and off the boot. He absolutely flushed it on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
45-point turnaround since halfway through the second quarter. It's literally a quarter ago.
And the bad news continues for the Swans. Bob Jones teammates, Justin Edwards.
Yeah, more bad news for the Swans. Joel Hamling is out of the game with a hamstring injury. It didn't look to be that serious coming off, but he's had history of hamstring issues. Out of the game he goes, and with the Swans having already used their sub on Hayden McLean, they are 1 down on the bench.
Did he get his finger back at least, Justin?
He does have that back. He's fully fingered.
Bob Jones teammates have... Bob Jones teammates have great buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. Call or shop online today. T's and C's apply.
Gotta be careful where you go on the fingers.
Cal Brown comes corridor. This bloke's off the chain. Finn Callahan lasers a pass. Sticky hands. Hogan will go back to kick from 45 out.
You know what, the Flanders, all the players seem off the chain at the moment. They have lifted slowly in the last...
he's handed off to Lockie Ash. All the defenders are getting in on the act. The orange tsunami has hit, and it has wiped out the Swans. 11-6-72, the margin 16 points. and the Swans are stuck.
And this is what happens out here at Giant Stadium, and we've seen it so many times. The Gold Coast a couple of weeks ago, the same thing. They had a good lead, and they just get a sniff, the Giants. They get one goal, they get two, and all of a sudden everyone just lifts. The whole team lifts, as we've seen. Himmelberg running down, Ash running down from the back line. They all want to get amongst it. The first half, they were stifled by the Swans' pressure. Where has that pressure gone in this third quarter?
Justin Edwards, Bob Jones teammates.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, Dean Cox very, very animated after that goal. As animated as he's been all day.
What's that now, Bolts, for the quarter the Giants have kicked?
Yeah, the Triple M Totally Workwear scoreboard in this quarter.
8 goals, 2 to 1 goal straight.
Remember, they got the quick answer at the start of the term, but then the Giants have poured on 7 unanswered, and they're coming out of the middle again. Briggs across his body. He clean bowled one Giant, but tidied up by the next. Oh, look out! Kick towards goal! He's running! He's dodging! He's into the grandstand! Jakey Stringer, the package with a snap, and they have wasted about 15 seconds to kick another one. Make it 9 goals in the quarter.
This place is absolutely off the charts. An absolute statement from the Giants here. They have put the foot down and absolutely blown past the Swans as it comes out of the middle. Jakey Stringer, he leads his direct opponent in Mills and just turns and drives a massive snap on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
It's 22 points the Giants' way. Half an hour ago it was 5 goals for the Swans.
We wondered if they were ready for the Friday night lights at home. This has got the atmosphere of a wrestling event. This feels like a WWE festival here at NG Stadium on a Friday night.
What quarter is it? The Premiership quarter.
They were just waiting for the Showtime spot, Speedy, and the Giants have turned up. They're wearing their Never Surrender jumper, and that is what they're doing. Here they come again. Cornelio inside forward 50. Overrunning it was Hogan. Oh. Brown's on his way to the goal. Now the Irishman's in on the act. Oh, he's hit the post. He's hit the post. I think it was touched anyway. Minor score. Every kick of the ball is being ridden by this hometown crowd on the Triple M Totally Workwear scoreboard.
What an incredible statement by this side, though, after being down in the first half. Players out of form, and they have just sparked themselves. They've willed themselves into the contest and then taken control.
Mark taken by Grundy, and boy did the Swans need that. They trail by nearly 4 goals now. They've had no answer when the ball's come inside forward 50. It's been score after score, goal after goal, but now Grundy sends the Swans into the attacking half, but the intercept mark's being taken by Buckley this time, and he plays on quickly to the run of Whitfield. He says, "Where are you?" He looks for a runner and drop mark.
Stringer free kick.
He gets the free kick though, Stringer, and he want to get the ball back quickly. Almost 50 given up on the Swans. So Stringer plays on and goes to a disadvantage in numbers, but it's now alive at ground level. Brown tried to flick it over the top, and that was broken up by Lloyd for a stoppage. 2 minutes to go until three-quarter time, and Dean Cox needs a circuit breaker, the Swans coach.
But the Swans are a completely different side in this third quarter. No, they're not playing with the same confidence, the same vim that they had in the first half.
Hard to play with confidence when you can't get your hands on the footy.
They're panicking though.
It's inside the Giants forward 50. Still, this crowd is riding every moment. Does anybody care about that other game?
How much they win
Choice
by?
hotels around the ground. The Dogs are going to win it by about 86 points. Norton and Darcy have kicked 13 between them.
Sydney, James Jordan.
Oh, okay.
That was off. That was against Finn Callahan.
Got a little bit naughty there, Finn. Let one slip high, and this is a much-needed bit of free possession for the Swans.
I think they're just trying to take stock. There's not a lot of run or movement ahead because they've been shell-shocked. They're flat-footed.
Has Isaac Heaney had a touch this quarter, Bolts?
He's had a few touches, and the ball's been ripped from his grasp pretty quickly as well, I fancy, if there is.
He's had 5 touches this quarter.
So the ball breaks out of play, spills across in front of the interchange gates. Giants lead by 23 points on the Triple M Totally Workwear scoreboard. They don't want this quarter to come to an end, but the Swans sure do. As the boundary umpire tosses it in, Briggs and Grundy go at it again. Callahan trying to shake clear of Jordan. The ball stays in there, in dispute. No free kick's been found.
It's going to go forward again. They had 17 inside 50s to just the 7 this quarter alone, Speedy.
Over the shoulder. of Stephen Cornelio. So on the logo, he launches another one inside forward 50. Swans able to spoil to the outside. Brown first to react. Paddles it and keeps it in. Lloyd has to go to work. Set his teammate an enormous task, and Gordon gets gang tackled but gets a free kick as well, does
It's a high tackle.
High contact, they say, on Errol.
Okay, move out, outside 5.
And a relieving free kick for the Swans. Final minute of this third quarter. They still trail by 23 points. Giants haven't won a Sydney derby in 818 days.
Goulden drives it out of defensive 50. Buckley and Grundy. Grundy with a really important mark for the Swans. 30 seconds left in the quarter and counting. Grundy has it centre wing, chips wide. Hayward to possess the football.
Just the required distance.
And the crowd knows it too. This is a crowd that not that long ago used to have to put the rules up on the big screen. Now they know the rule book inside and out. Big mark taken by Francis. 10 seconds left on the clock. Warner spoiled off the kick. Heaney for a much needed late one. Even Isaac Heaney's double grabbing, fumbling. Himmelberg handball towards the boundary line. Siren's going to sound in what was an absolutely epic quarter. If you're a Giants fan, 9 goals to 1. They trail by 25 at the main break. They head in at three-quarter time. 23 points in the league. Dean Cox is the colour of his jumper. He is red, he is fuming, he is furious. What will he say to his Chargers at three-quarter time, and can they answer back? We'll find out after this. Sydney Derby 31 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Totally Workwear. Rise and grind with Totally Workwear. Seriously tough workwear, safety and uniform gear for serious players. Totally Workwear. Love your work.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
the Big Arch Burger has now arrived at Macca's.
50 out on the boundary. Simo, self-employed mechanic from Cranbourne. Knocked back by the big banks when he applied for a loan. Don't forget that. But he backs himself now. And that is what Red Z loves. Kicks it. Oh, an almighty roost. Straight through the eye diddle with Red Z backing him all the way.
Loans for the self-employed? Win with Red Z. Talk to your broker or contact Red Z.
Australian credit license 31128. Looking for the best deal on a new mobile? Harvey Norman Android price splits on now. Save $100 on Motorola G85, now under $300. Save $200 on Samsung Galaxy A56, now just $498. Save $100 on Samsung Galaxy A16, now under $200. And Oppo A5 5G, $258, save $40. More big savings on mobiles in store and online. Android price blitz on now. Harvey Norman. Best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
At Choice Hotels, you get the best value, so you can check into more. And right now, you can get 10% off your next break. From regional road trips to beachside getaways, Choice Hotels has over 7,500 locations worldwide and the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead, check into more with Choice Hotels. Subject to availability, T's and C's apply. See choicehotels.com for details.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Cbus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong long-term returns for after the final whistle. Cbus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Cbus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
When you're passionate about the footy, you know the game like the back of your hand. It's a bit like that at your local Mitre 10 Trade Centre. We're passionate about the trade and we know it better than anyone. With expert advice and top quality timber and building products, our dedicated trade teams are ready with specialised service backed by an Australia-wide network. So while you support your team, Mitre 10 Trade is supporting you. That's mighty helpful, Mitre 10.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. We've got top brands at budget-friendly prices at Bob Jane T-Marts. Want a free tyre? Buy 3 Bridgestone, Yokohama or Kumo tyres and the 4th tyre's free. Get up to $200 instant cashback on Bridgestone and Pirelli tyres. Plus, receive a free gift card up to $250 when you buy 4 selected tyres. We won't be beaten with our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
50 out on the boundary. Simo, self-employed mechanic from Cranbourne. Knocked back by the big banks when he applied for a loan. Don't forget that. But he backs himself now. And that is what Red Z loves. Kick set. Oh, an almighty roost. Straight through the eye diddle with Red Z backing him all the way.
Loans for the self-employed? Win with Red Z. Talk to your broker or contact Red Z. Australian credit license 31128.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. Tradies, big jobs, small jobs. Beacon Trade's got the fans, lights and switches to get it done. Partner up at beacontrade.com.au.
1 quarter left to go in Sydney Derby 31. The Swans led by 28 points at the main break. And then a quarter that will strike fear into the hearts of the Lions, the Pies, the Crows, and anybody else that dares to consider themselves a contender, as the Giants came out and kicked 9 goals to 1 to flip it. They now lead by 23 points with 1 quarter of footy left to go. Liam Flanagan, Brendan Speed, Jude Bolton and Troy Luff.
It was their 3rd best quarter in their history and their equal best 3rd quarter. Once they've kicked 10 goals in a quarter, a couple of times they've kicked 9, so fantastic 3rd quarter by the Giants.
Number 1 ranked player on the ground, Finn Callahan, had 349 metres gain in that quarter alone. He's had 7 score involvements. He's been influential.
Unbelievable 3rd quarter. Once they got on a roll, they just kept going and going and going.
Justin Edwards, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, interesting in the Swans huddle. Before the coaches could say a word, Dane Rampy, the oldest player on the Swans list, brought them all into a huddle to deliver some words. There wasn't a whole lot of ranting and raving from Dean Cox. Perhaps just a dose of calm is what they needed and is what he delivered. The Giants still have their sub available to them with Toby McMullen. The Swans, recapping that injury news, Hayden McLean out with concussion and Joel Hamling out with a hamstring injury. They are 1 down on the bench.
As the players were talking it over in the huddle, the Swans coaches gathered. Eamon Buchanan was scratching his head throughout. They were desperately searching for answers. I'm not sure there are any.
What's how they respond now, Bolts?
Well, just got to limit scores from turnover. That was 5 goals straight in that quarter alone. Just incredible. It was a devastating run. And may just look back at the end of year, if this was to be a maiden premiership victory, as one of the quarters that really stood out.
And look at the people on the score sheet too. Cadman, Stringer, Green, Ash, all those players who'd been quiet up until then. Yep. Here's Brendan Speed to get us underway in the final term.
The margin is 23 points. The Giants right on top up that stellar 3rd term, and Briggs takes it out of the ruck, gets the better of Grundy, back with the flight. Toby Green takes it. No,
touched.
Not paid, so then almost in the back. Might have got another free kick.
It is in the back.
Sorry, Toby. I was screaming as loud as I could.
No, the umpire says give it to me.
Rucks, Kieran, Brody.
Toby Green's not going to get that kind of free kick.
Sorry,
But the Toby tax and all that, as Grundy is immediately wrapped up by Cornelio. So we'll get another stoppage inside the Giants attacking 50 here, early stages of the final term. Cornelio against McInerney. McInerney kept his feet. Cornelio lost his. Well done, McInerney, but he coughed up possession in the end. Tom Green across his body, gets it back inside forward 50 with the flight this time. Callum Mills, a captain's mark. It's not paid either. Did he juggle it?
He must have juggled it.
Did he hit the ground? When he hit the ground, that looked like a clear mark.
Can we get a stoppage? Callum Mills, no complaints. Back to his feet as the ruckman lock up again. And McInerney again. He lost his feet this time, but the Swans get it out of D50 this time. Brought to ground level by the fist of Buckley. Angwin, slick hands. The Giants really making that Sharon talk here. Cornelio drops it in a hot spot. A push out was clear and obvious. And you don't want to give a free kick to this man close to goal. It's Jesse Hogan.
Yeah, against Milliken, you could see him just trying to work Jesse Hogan under the footy, but it was the dump kick from the Swans again. And the Giants just pounced. They came back in with interest. And this time the beneficiary is Jesse Hogan.
The Swans in that third quarter, and they've almost started this last quarter, don't look like they're playing for their season anymore. They look like they've almost conceded. And if he kicks this goal, Hogan, just have to see if the Swans all their heads drop, knowing that that's it.
He kicked the first goal of the night, and his goalless since. That's a surprise. He didn't kick any of the 9 in the third quarter, but he's only slightly off centre here. The stuttering approach from Hogan. Drop punt on the way. He's nailed it. First goal of the opening term, first goal of the last. And the Giants blow out their lead, 13-7-85 to 8-8-56. It's a comfortable lead now.
As we welcome in our Melbourne audience, this is how we party in Sydney on a Friday night. Sydney Derby 31, it has had everything. Hayden McLean knocked out, subbed out in the first 60 seconds of the game. Undersized and undermanned. The Swans were inspired. They took the game away from the Giants to lead by 28 points at half-time, and then a quarter that on review will strike fear into the coaches and players at the Lions, the Pies, the Crows, and any other contenders in season 2025, as the Giants kicked 9 goals to 1 to flip the script on the Derby and set themselves up to win this contest, maybe for the first time since round 7 2023. Ball back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. The Giants are rolling. The orange tsunami is flowing. Ball still in the centre square of NG Stadium. Goulden finds his left shoe. Beautiful pass. Hits up Heaney. Centre half forward. Turns and burns. Goes quickly. Buller's gone to ground. He's fallen over his own feet. That'll allow Buckley to escape to the outer side.
And it's lace out as well. Mark dropped by Toby Green. One that he should have taken rather easily. Able to tidy up. Went to Angwin. And now to Tom Green to switch it up. Goes right across the face of goal. A bouncing ball for Whitfield. He corrals it nicely on the
great kick.
One hand, and then across his body found Taylor lace out. Callahan was the handball option. He kicks quickly to Cullen Brown. And his chip kick should work for Bedford as well. The Giants flowing and making it look easy as they transition from one end to the other. But Bedford miscues with that attempted kick. Stringer says, "What were you doing there, Toby?" as he gave it straight to Callum Mills, the Swans captain, who was magnificent in the first half as they built a handy lead. But it's all gone sour for the Swans since.
Goulden wants the corridor. It's a courageous kick. Himmelberg saw it coming. He's cut it off.
Hogan deep.
Intercept mark. Jesse Hogan. Melican's trying hard to get back. He won't. Hogan copped the shot in the breadbasket.
Is that Dane Rampy?
Took the mark, then went to ground. He's taking in the big breaths. Quickly, let's get down to Justin Edwards, Bob Jane Teamarts.
Giants have activated their sub. Toby McMullen about to be injected. Josh Kelly is the man that's been subbed out. He's just getting some treatment from the physio on a lower leg. Perhaps just precautionary after returning from injury this week. But he has been subbed out of the game.
All right, so McMullen into the game for the Giants.
I think Liam was actually in the marking contest. It didn't look like afterwards. It looked like he actually hurt himself when he went for the mark there.
Jesse Hogan has 2, averaging 3 goals a game. The reigning Coleman medalist. The stutter, the pause, the kick. He's in the post. The Giants fans are loving every moment of this. They sense a win coming. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. The Giants lead it by 30 points. Tradies, big jobs, small jobs. Beacon Trade's got the fans' lights and switches to get it done. Partner up at beacontrade.com.au.
So the Swans need to be perfect from now, just about. They trail by 5 straight kicks. The ball ricochets kindly for Buller, has his kick smothered, and Warner can't pick it up. Trying to scoop it up. It's broken up by Buckley, and the ball locked in. We'll get a stoppage.
It's hard to believe the Swans were in front by 35 points halfway through the second quarter.
It's been an incredible turnaround, just a devastating run.
More than 11-goal turnaround.
Darcy Jones gets the free kick. I reckon the free kick count has swung dramatically as well. It was there. He went to Whitfield via hands into the pocket. Stringer, what a kick. What an entry from the kid in the lid.
Mills has been terrific tonight, but the body work here from Jake Stringer in transition, the early body work created the space, and now he's hugged up against the boundary line. Geez, had some big moments. The goal in the third term. This guy is just loving his footy in Giants colours.
He won a flag with the Western Bulldogs in 2016. He knows what that feeling is like, and he wants to do it again as a Giants. He's going to go drop punt here, is he? Tries to measure it. Looks pretty good off the boot. Another post, but the same post has been struck back to back.
He was walking towards the crowd and he was going to just have one of the all-time celebrations, I think, then.
Blakey's brought it back in straight up the middle. Giants have it all covered now. Bedford, here he is. Jake, will he get his moment? Let's fly from 50. He's pushed it to the right this time. Jake Stringer is doing all the right things to woo this Giants crowd. As the Swans bring it in once more, Blakey, they're just hoping now in desperation with every return to play. Taylor, barely a handball. Francis, handballs to the corridor. Grundy gave it to Goulden. Goulden didn't want it. McMullen did. Went hunting it on the ground. We'll have a ball up. 88 plays 56. 14 and a half left to play final term. Triple M Beacon Trade School.
Boys, I don't know about the rest of you, but the Swans are like they're now going through the motions. They have absolutely stopped. Where is that pressure gone from we saw in the first half?
Cornelio soccers it out of there. Breaks for Mills. His handball to Heaney going backwards. Links up with Goulden. Breaks through a tackle of Stringer. Links up with Rampy. His launch. Trying to give Buller a chance. Buckley leads him to the footy. Then he nudged him under at Buller. Good contest between these two. And the ball is locked in. Inside the Swans forward 50. They trail by 32 points in Sydney Derby number 31 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And their coach would have said at half time, if we just get a sniff here, we know that they'll eventually slow down the Swans if they get in front.
Flicked over the top by Grundy. It found Heaney, but Himmelberg wrapped him up immediately. Another stoppage coming up.
The pressure from the Giants has been enormous, and they've scored heavily on those intercepts and turnovers.
Oh, Jesus.
Ball up. Umpires mic'd up.
That was the umpire.
Umpires had a religious moment out on the field. He's seen God. Shot at goal, went across the face. Umpires mic'd up exclusively for Triple M footy as the Giants bring it back into play. Himmelberg chips it wide. Taylor. Giants just playing a bit of tempo football now.
Terrific. Just own the footy for a little bit. Take a little bit of the sting out of the game. They've got it on their terms.
Sam Taylor puts the footy on the grass. Gives it to Fonte. He's got some real speed off half back. It's a wobbly kick. Melican goes the double fist. Brings it forward. Haywood. Sheldrick pops it up. Francis has got to compete against a couple. Had no eyes on the football. Iden wins it out the back. Here's McMullen into the game on his left. Going to get past Bedford. He put a saddle on Cunningham. Stringer with a handball. The kid in the lid pursues. Jones. Oh, he slipped over. But it stayed up for Bedford. Captain Snooze. Wrapped around Cunningham. Here comes Jones. McMullen shovels a handball forward.
Oh, tapped on by O'Halloran, almost a throw, but it's given the all clear to Bedford. Kicks to a one-on-one. Cadman with the stretch. Oh my goodness. Go, Gadget.
Outstanding from the Giants in transition. It was McMullen. It was Bedford. Darcy Jones got busy, and then the drive forward, the kick was to advantage, and then it looked like it would drifted over the top. But look at the stretch, as you mentioned, Speedy. Cadman at full stretch takes it in the fingertips.
How many marks is that for Cadman?
7 tonight.
He's tidied up his goal kicking. And pretty straight on here. Kicks another one and busts out the celebration. He's cooking, and then he's got the fingers in the air saluting. He's had quite the night, the former number one draft kick. Pick, it's almost chef's kiss. Another celebration. He's rolled 3. He's been watching the Hawks, this bloke. It's 3 celebrations in one for the gag man.
Really good signs here for the Giants. They've shown so many times that when they're down, they respond, whether it be half-time or three-quarter time. They did it a couple of weeks ago here against the Gold Coast Suns, where they looked down and out. Halfway through the second quarter today, they looked down and out. Just before half-time, the Swans allowed a couple of cheap goals for the Giants to give them a little bit of a sniff. And even though the first couple of minutes of the third quarter was a goal apiece, after that, that was it. The Giants have absolutely controlled the ball. They've had their own football out there. They've been allowed to do whatever they want. The Swans' pressure has just dropped off to nearly zero.
Troy Life, Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Ball back in the middle from McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Starting to become a question of by how much for the Giants as McMullen lasers a ball onto the chest of the skipper, Toby Green, who, for those who joined us late, has had a dirty old evening. He's given away more free kicks than he's earned.
What's his possessions, Bolts?
He's had 8 disposals, but I tell you what, he was in part of that third quarter. He got just that little sniff in the goal square.
7.
Created an opportunity. This will be a huge moment again.
Toby Green may have never wanted a goal so bad. He'll kick from 50. Oh, he's pulled it. What about the selflessness of the captain? He got all the way into his launch stride, then he pulled it left, and he's given McMullen a chance to go back.
That's just taking the pee, isn't it?
But also the Swans sitting back on their heels. It was the option was open. It was a clear little chip to the sub in McMullen.
Young Toby McMullen, the sub, fresh into the game from Port Fairy.
It's not a good look for the Swans this second half, Bolts.
McMullen crosses 50. He's pulled it right. Left, in fact.
Left.
Minor score. 95-56 margin. 39 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Tradies, big jobs, small jobs. Beacon Trade's got the fans, lights and switches to get it done. Partner up at beacontrade.com.au.
Yeah, they completely fell away, Luffy. They've just their intensity, but also just looked really rattled once the pressure lifted.
Grundy keeps going, creates a turnover with the tackle on Fonte, and he wants it back here, Brady, but the Swans instead go long down the line to a one-on-one. Ash dropped the mark, tidied up by Campbell, links up with Sheldrick. His kick inventive, clever on his right boot, across his body to find Francis, who loads up, goes for goal from 60 out, pulls it to the near side for a minor score. A rare score for the Swans, who are stuck on 8-9-57, trailing the Giants 14-11-95 by 38 points. And since the second half began, it's 11-7 to 1-1.
Jeez.
Been all the Giants in this second half as Cadman sees it over the line for a boundary throw. And in fact, the last goal for the Swans came at the 2-minute mark of the third term.
We were wrapping this game up, Flano. Don't worry about the Bulldogs Essendon game, wrapping this game up, and now it's turned into the same sort of second half.
Nah, this one's been entertaining, Luffy.
Well, the first half has been.
It was an absolute exhibition put on by the Bulldogs' tall timber. Norton and Darcy kicking 13
Great
between
pressure
them.
again. Callahan's
Callahan has just driven Sheldrick into the ground, earned his side a free kick. It went out of bounds on the full. And young Finn Callahan is just further enhancing this reputation, Bolts.
And James Jordan's been the one who's gone to him rather than Lockie Whitfield all night, but he's been absolutely on fire.
Himmelberg tries to sell some candy. Buller wasn't buying it, so Harry has to kick it long down the line. Again, Cadman creates a contest, brings it to ground level. Rowbottom tidies up. His kick works out. Goulden on the outside for Patley. His kick inside forward 50, missed the mark. Dropped by Ash. Ball to be run down at ground level. Tom Green tidies up. He's got options. He elects to go via hands backwards to Iden and now links with Ash. They lock him in his hands to launch off half-back, and he's done so. He found Hogan with a bouncing ball. Handball over the top to Callum Brown. His kick. Heaney helping out down back, takes the intercept mark, should get 50 and does. Toby Green's given away another one. They go at it, these two. That'll be a 100-metre penalty in a minute, Toby, as he hung onto the leg of Isaac Heaney. Wouldn't let him go. I think they'll stick with just 50, but it could have been 100. What will the coach say to Toby Green about these antics? Can they afford that in September?
No.
You don't want him to lose his head, and that's what it certainly felt like during the first half. But I've loved the way he's just been able to reset and get going in the second half.
I think it was Leon Cameron who delivered a telling quote about Toby Green as Errol Gordon sends the inside forward 50, wanted Hayward, beaten in the contest. Francis sat on the footy, ball still in dispute. Iden's going to clear the danger momentarily. Brown wrapped up in the tackle by Cunningham. Ball up, out of sight. Leon Cameron once said that robots will get you to the finals and your rat bags will win it. And he was referring to Toby Green and Lockie Whitfield. So I think you can accept some of these failings given what he's capable of on the day.
Is the Western Bulldogs watching this second half? They'll have to watch it pre-recorded. Obviously, they'll have a lot to be concerned about for next week. It's going to be a massive game for both sides.
Throwback term there, Luffy. Pre-recorded, days.
Well, they'll be in the showers at the moment in Melbourne.
On the feeder. Swans tidy up here. I'll put that in the Amy Klanger for you, Luffy. They'll pre-recorded.
Well, it has to be. You know what I mean? Watch a replay. You know what I'm saying?
Sheldrick kicks wide.
Yeah, to KO.
Yeah, well, you still got to watch the replay. It's not going to be live, is it? They'll be in the showers at the moment.
Gordon's
The
down.
Bulldogs celebrate.
And
slow to get up.
A lower leg issue, hopefully just a cramp issue for Errol as they go back to the centre of the NG Stadium where Rampy completes the switch by going to Matty Roberts. He feels like he's had a quiet night, Matty Roberts, on the Red Zeds.
Yeah, Roberts, he's had 17 disposals.
A lot of those
Goulden's
have been
really
rough,
slow. Goulden's really slow. He's going to come off the ground, it looks like.
And Wicks will put it into the pocket. Up they go, off hands. Free kick's been spotted. It's going the way of the Giants. There's plenty going on down there on the bench. I saw some ice on Buckley's Achilles region. Bob Jane T-Marts, Justin Edwards, any more on that sort of stuff?
Yeah, Buckley came off limping, complaining about a calf. He looks like he's done for the day. He's got ice on the calf and he's got ice on the other leg on the corky from before. Errol Goulden making his way to the bench at the moment.
Well, you know, he missed the first 14 rounds at that ankle, Errol Goulden.
Bob Jane T-Marts, they've got great buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. Call or shop online today. T's and C's apply. It looks to be with Goulden more of a quad type area. That was what he was indicating to the trainer. As Buller is wrapped up in a tackle. Free kick, Riccardi. It's been a humbling night for young Jack Buller. Been brought back down to earth somewhat. Riccardi has it. Left half back. Driving kick. Cadman. He's got Grundy as the sit. Oh, he didn't quite get there in time. The step ladder moved out the way. Angwin.
Free kick.
Earned himself a free kick.
But again, Cadman was able to somehow bring that to ground against the odds.
Time back on.
And Jordan ran straight through the protected area there.
Oh, that was a 50-metre.
Yeah.
Because Callahan had gone behind him. Jordan went in between the man on the mark and
Himmelberg has it, standing in the centre circle. He's going to go in the Cow Brown direction. It got to him on the half volley. The Irishman with a step. Here's O'Halloran driving it, goal. It's going to push across the face. Minor score. Giants have moved to 96. Swans 57. The margin is a very healthy 39 points for the Giants on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
since half-time, 29 inside 50s to 15. The Giants' way, 11 goals to 1.
They have run as hot as ream hot water, built tough for Aussie conditions. The GWS Giants in this second half. Chipped into the back pocket for Lloyd, who was putting his stamp on the game in the second quarter. And the Swans were on top. Grundy was dominant in the ruck as well, but Briggs has hit back with his physicality.
He hasn't stopped all day, Speedy Grundy, has he?
Yeah, it's been magnificent in a beaten team here. As the Swans flick around the handballs, a hospital handball in the end, but Campbell makes work. Floats one to Warner, over the top to Heaney. So they've gone via hands. Now Heaney into the pocket, nice option. Oh, what a leap from Fonte. Timed it perfectly and stopped a certain goal. Well played, Joe Fonte, who says, not on my watch, the Kempe, but Dumbo's spot.
Oh, Fonte, I tell you what, he's just such a quick, he's closing speed here to get the spoil. When it looked a certain mark in the front half as Papley just hobbling at this stoppage.
Boundary throw in, Swans forward 50.
Holding Heaney.
There's going to be a free kick to Isaac Heaney. He's going to go back and have a set shot. It's going to go against Lockie Ash. Heaney will shoot from 35, 45-degree angle. And a lot of those red and white fans that had made the trip out west from the safety of the eastern suburbs.
Thanks, Lock, right there.
All I see now is a lot of empty seats through Bolton.
They're walking out, they're marching out. They know this is done. Unbelievable third turn by the Giants. Stamp their authority.
Isaac Heaney has missed. Probably sums up the Swans' night when their star can't convert.
The stands look very empty on the other side of the ground now, Flanners, where the Swans supporters are all sitting.
I mean, it's almost like I just said that, Luffy. That's what happens when you take your headphones off.
I was looking at the stats. I was trying to think of something smart to bring up.
Even when the headphones are taken off, I still hear you, Flanners. He's only a metre away. So the Giants go back inside D50. Connor Iden has played his role again tonight and waits this kick into space. And that was good self-awareness, I reckon, by McMullen. He just took his eye off it a little with Melican coming the other way. It's ricocheted out for potentially out of bounds on the full. The boundary umpire and field umpire want to talk it over.
He could end up coming off McMullen's foot in the end. The initial kick came from Melican.
They decided after the group chat that they'll toss this one in.
Well, it was out in the full, but you'd have to look at the video to see whose foot it actually came on. So, what's the point?
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, Luffy.
Well, it's not going to be a game-deciding
what
decision.
the umpires would be talking about there. As Grundy again brought it down for Heaney. Threw it back to Heaney for the 1-2, but caught out the umpires. That's the kind of night Brodie's having. And the intercept mark taken by Whitfield right on the defensive 50-yard for the Giants, who lead by 38 points here. They put the queue in the rack a little. The job has been well and truly done.
This will be his 27th disposal on the Triple M Red Z lending stats, a team high.
Averaging 28 a game this year is Lockie Whitfield. Really strong mark taken by Jake Riccardi, who's thriving as the second ruck / key forward in this side. Really has found a niche for himself. Toby Green getting some instructions behind play, engaging with Dane Rampy. Wicks, quick hands. Heaney shoveled back defensively. Jake Stringer's defensive pressure continues. He refuses to give up, making life really difficult for Mills and Wicks. They work it out, and Brodie Grundy probably the only Swan that can hold his head up after this evening.
Yeah, he's been consistent all night, Brodie Grundy, whereas some of the others have just completely dropped away. Once the pressure cranked up from the Giants outfit, they've been terrific.
Triple M C-Bus super special comments all night from Troy Luff and Jude Bolton. Jude said the Swans season would just about be over. He predicted the Giants would win by 17 tonight. They've almost doubled that advantage. As the ball to be won on centre wing, Rowbottom immediately tackled by Angwin. And holding the ball is the decision as two men wound up tackling Rowbottom, and it's Taylor who's the one who's rewarded.
As soon as you go to fend off and look like you're going to take on that's it. If you get tackled, you're done. You've had your opportunity.
Taylor's taken some intercept marks. He's one of the three key inclusions tonight. He has been magnificent.
He's taken 10 marks this evening.
Well, you think they've just included Hogan, Taylor, Kelly and Canelio in the last 2 weeks. Now that's 4 big guns back into the side at the right time of the year.
His return from that fractured toe tonight, Speedy.
Yeah, Cullen Ward with the ACL out for the season. Brent Daniels is the one they'd love to get back for September, but that's no certainty. Other than that, they're pretty fully healthy. Up they go, Hogan. Brought it down in front. McMullen invents a kick. Free kick's been found. It's coming back to McMullen.
Too high on Rowbottom. Other sides, Liam, you mentioned before they'll be watching this and they'll be panicking a little bit. Well, not necessarily panicking, but they'll be worried because the Giants have shown in that third quarter what they can do. And this last quarter has just been, well, a procession. It's just been, we've just got to play 30 minutes. Let's go out and do it. We already finished them off. The Swans have shown nothing in this last quarter at all. They didn't challenge them. They didn't get a goal to say we're going to make a comeback. It's just been go through the motions and wait for the time to finish. We've got 2 minutes left.
So McMullen took the free kick quickly, picked up Hogan on a long lead. He got off the chain of Blakey. He couldn't believe the work of his teammates. So Hogan taking the shot here from just inside 50. From a tough angle, won't register, goes across the face, up they climb in the goal square, fisted away by Melican, only as far as Canelio, sold some candy, doesn't get the purchase on the snap, and the mark will be paid here, yes, the Stringer.
How is that 15 metres? He kicked it from the top of the square, that's near the point.
Have a look at this mark from Stringer though, he's buffeting between 2 Swans defenders, he's pushing off one and then he ends up taking the mark in the breadbasket.
This would top it all off. Jake Stringer, a chance to bring up the ton for the Giants after being paid a mark after the kick went all of 8 metres, and he converts. Jake Stringer takes the Giants past 100, 15-12, 102, all over the Swans, 8-10-58 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
He's kicked 11 goals now in the last 4 weeks, Jake Stringer. He could have one of the biggest finishes to a season and be one of the most pivotal players because you know he's a big game player and he can set it alight. He's had some amazing moments in the second half against the Swans, and once you see here, it goes up by Canelio right up in the sky, and he's pushing off both Rampy and also Jake Lloyd, and takes a really good mark on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
He's only 12 short, Bolts of 400 goals, so that'll be a massive achievement to reach 400.
The package is ready to deliver in September. He is back. He is fresh. He looks fit.
12-8 to 1-2 since half-time.
11 without response.
Ball back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Finn Callahan now putting the hurt on Braden Campbell. He's giving away a free kick.
James Jordan over there. Let him go. Aaron. Thank you.
It's an incredible fall from grace, though, from Sydney. In terms of, you look at halfway through last year when they were 2 or 3 games clear on the ladder, just destroying loss in the grand final. They haven't recovered. And now it almost looks like their premiership window goes like that and just closes off pretty quickly.
They need to draft some Bolts. They are lacking a couple of quality players.
We're inside forward 50 for the Swans. The clock is counting down on this fixture. And we're reading the last rights for the Sydney Swans season. They'll sit 2 games outside of the 8 behind the Western Bulldogs tonight with little chance. In fact,
Zero chance
of playing finals. So it's back to the drawing board for Dean Cox and his men, but for Adam Kingsley, whatever he said at halftime needs to be bottled and sold with a massive marker as Cal Brown marks right half forward. Siren's going to sound. Could Toby Green end it with a mark? He dropped it. And for the first time since round 7, 2023, the Giants have triumphed in the Sydney Derby.
Well, there's a big, big sound from the west of the town. It's the sound of the mighty Giants. You feel the ground is shaking, the other teams are quaking in their boots before the Giants. We take the longest strides and the highest leap. We're stronger than the rest. We're the greater Western Sydney Giants. We're the biggest and the best, and we will never surrender. We'll fight until the end. We're greater than the rest.
And just like that, the GWS Giants jump up to 5th spot on the AFL ladder. A nice percentage gain as well. They're just 1.5 percentage points behind the Hawks, who sit in 4th spot. Very much keeping their top 4 spot hopes alive tonight with a comfortable 44-point win over the Sydney Swans. 15-12, 102 the Giants. 8-10, 58 the Sydney Swans. We're standing by our friends from Fox Footy. A chat on field, and then we will see the awarding of the Brett Kirk medal for the best of field. Any predictions for that one, Bolts?
Finn Callahan.
Luffy. Let's go down to Ben Dixon, who is with that man, Finn Callahan, now thanks to Fox Footy.
We deserved it. Played nowhere near to our level in that first half, and the Swans smashed us around the footy, and their work rate was a level better than ours. So King has certainly gave it to us, and just so really happy. The second half, the boys really fought back, and that was the best we played all year. The second half.
What did he identify at half time? Because it was just a completely different script in the third quarter. What are a couple of the areas that you just had to tighten up?
He's pretty old school, King. It's like for us, it was just that he said they were tougher and their work rate was better. Simple as that, which was true. So we just had to get back to hunting the footy, hunting the man, and I'm glad it turned.
The rivalry now is starting to build beautifully here. There was nothing during the week, the silence. It was like we're going to save it for the game, and the fireworks in the first half was pretty entertaining.
They've beaten us the last 5 times, so for us it wasn't, we can talk what we want, but it's about action. We talked previously, and they came out and smashed us in a few finals as well, so no talk from us this week, just let our footy do the talk.
And you get a couple of players back. Jesse Hogan straight into it, gets his hands on the ball. That front half looks pretty potent now, doesn't it?
Yeah. Host is obviously he's an amazing player. Won the Colin last year, and he's hopefully can get back to that form. But Stringer, Toby, Brownie, Cads, where do I start? I'll keep going. So there's so many good players down there, and it's pretty good as a midfield king at all.
What about NG Stadium? They were a bit quiet in the first half, but when you started to get the tsunami going, the crowd just lifts at this joint, doesn't it?
It's unbelievable. I reckon they're getting louder every week. Really starting to try and turn into a bit of a fortress, and the fans are brilliant. They're certainly finding their voice, and we are playing here in front of them.
Mate, there's 6 in a row. Well done tonight.
Thanks to go. Cheers.
I'll tell you what, if you don't like the way he plays his football, you must love the way he does his interviews. Finn Callahan, no-nonsense sort of operator there, courtesy of Fox Footy. He is an impressive young man, And an exciting footballer to boot. He's getting around Errol Goulden, a kid who he played a lot of junior footy against, obviously, as the teams are in their huddles. We're preparing for the presentation down on field of the Brett Kirk Medal and of the Sydney Derby Trophy.
Incredible second half. We just know how the Swans are out to almost a 35-point lead, and then it was 14 goals 9 to 2 goals 3, 16 more inside 50s in that period, and 17 more contested possessions. Just dominance, one-way traffic.
Just looking at the scores, I'm still shocked. They had 3 goals 4 on the board at half-time.
Let's get down to the on-field MC, Loz Markham, for the presentation.
15-12, 102 to 8-10-58. Before we call up the winning captain, I would like to ask AFL Commissioner Matt DeBoer to come forward to present the Brett Kirk Medal to the best player on grind. The winner of the Brett Kirk Medal tonight from the GWS Giants is Finn Callahan.
As predicted by Triple M's Jude Bolton.
Firstly, I'd just like to thank the Swans for a great game. We really respect the way you guys play footy. Look forward to many more battles over the years to come. I'd like to thank the crowd for coming out. We really heard you today. Your support was unbelievable, so thank you very much. And to our boys, let's keep the momentum going. Thank you.
Would you please welcome forward GWS Giants captain Toby Green to accept the Sydney Derby Trophy.
Wonder if he'll have any comments for Tom Papley in this acceptance speech.
Just thank you to everyone for coming out. It's a great atmosphere and building something really good in Sydney. Well done to the Swans. They've taught us how to play footy for a while. A tremendous footy club. It was a good fight tonight, so well done. We'll see you.
Toby Green keeping it short and sweet. There we go.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. We'll
take it back up to the Triple M commentary box. Thank you to Lauren Markham, the on-field MC, for the presentation of the trophy and of the medal. And Jude Bolton, true love. When the bigwigs at the AFL said we need the best eyes in the business to vote on this medal tonight, they ignored both of you. And they came to the one and only Brendan Speed. Speedy, an official voter for tonight's Brett Kirk medal.
Yeah, I think I was joined by Ben Dixon and Lachlan McCurdy on the panel tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure these votes will become official at some stage. I went with Callahan. I think he was unanimous across the country, across this ground tonight. 3 votes. I gave Cadman 2. I think he was instrumental in the third quarter surge. That tap back to Toby Green will be one of the highlights of the year. Who would have thought of that? Who would have executed that like he did? And the amount of times he brought the ball to ground level wouldn't even register in the stats. And then he kicked a few handy goals as well, the Cad man. And I went for Grundy. Just enormous throughout. We're a little consolation vote.
Nice little consolation vote. We're going to take a break. Because not to demean it, Speedy, but no one gives a stuff about the Brett Kirk medal. Everyone cares about the Triple MVP award. And we will find out where the votes go for that prestigious award after the break. The Giants, thanks to a 9-goal to 1/3 term, have destroyed the Swans' finals hopes and their season tonight by 44 points, 102 to 58. We'll break it down after this. For McDonald's and Marine Montwater, Triple M Rocks Footy.
That caught up the Beacon Trade. Tradies, big jobs, small jobs. Beacon Trade's got the fans, lights and switches to get it done. Partner up at beacontrade.com.au.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Looking for the best deal on a new mobile? Harvey Norman Android price blitz on now. Save $100 on Motorola G85, now under $300. Save $200 on Samsung Galaxy A56, now just $498. Save $100 on Samsung Galaxy A16, now under $200. And Oppo A5 5G, $258, save $40. More big savings on mobiles in store and online. Android price blitz on now. Harvey Norman. Best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
At Choice Hotels, you get the best value, so you can check into more. And right now, you can get 10% off your next break From regional road trips to beachside getaways, Choice Hotels has over 7,500 locations worldwide and the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead, check into more with Choice Hotels. Subject to availability, T's and C's apply. See choicehotels.com for details.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Seabus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong, long-term returns for after the final whistle. Seabus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Seabus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance. When you're passionate about the footy, you know the game like the back of your hand. It's a bit like that at your local Mitre 10 Trade Centre. We're passionate about the trade and we know it better than anyone. With expert advice and top quality timber and building products, our dedicated trade teams are ready with specialised service backed by an Australia-wide network. So while you support your team, Mitre 10 Trade is supporting you. That's mighty helpful, Mitre 10.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. We've got top brands at budget-friendly prices at Bob Jane T-Marts. Want a free tyre? Buy 3 Bridgestone, Yokohama or Kumo tyres and the 4th tyre's free. Get up to $200 instant cashback on Bridgestone and Pirelli tyres. Plus, receive a free gift card up to $250 when you buy 4 selected tyres. We won't be beaten with our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
50 out on the boundary. Simo, self-employed mechanic from Cranbourne. Knocked back by the big banks when he applied for a loan. Don't forget that. But he backs himself now. And that is what Red Z loves. Kick set. Oh, an almighty roost. Straight through the eye diddle with Red Z backing him all the way.
Loans for the self-employed? Win with Red Z. Talk to your broker or contact Red Z. Australian credit license 311128.
Looking for the best deal on a new mobile? Harvey Norman Android price splits on now. Save $100 on Motorola G85, now under $300. Save $200 on Samsung Galaxy A56, now just $498. Save $100 on Samsung Galaxy A16, now under $200. And Oppo A5 5G, $258, save $40. More big savings on mobiles in store and online. Android price blitz on now. Harvey Norman. Best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
The Triple M Footy Review for Amy. When clangers happen, it's lucky you're with Amy.
Big sound from the west of the town. It's the sound of the mighty giants. Now it's shaking, now it's in the breaking, the boots before the giants. Longer strides and the high slips, we're stronger than the rest. We're the Sydney Giants, we're the biggest and the best, and we will never fight to the end, we're greater than the rest.
The Giants singing the song with gusto after a 44-point win in Sydney Derby number 31. They trailed by as much as 35 points in the second term, and then a 9-1 third quarter blew the Swans off the park, flipped the script on the game, ended the Swans' slim finals chances, and set the Giants up for a possible top 4 finish.